Hey everybody, welcome back.
Ooh, I like this guy.
This is part 2 of episode 4 of the worst year of our lives, frequently known as the news. And we're doing more of the all requests because we talked way too long last episode about Beanie Babies and about
There's a lot of Beanie Babies
stuff that people do with dogs and, you know, just general being bad at hosting a podcast.
You've spun out of your friendly Southern gay character.
I know, I couldn't carry it.
I like that guy. The very non-threatening Southern gay.
Yeah, it's
I call it
Jack McBriar.
I call it a reverse deliverance. That's a threatening Southern gay.
You know what's funny? That's going to come up later in one of the movies we did.
Did Ned Beatty get violated in one of the movies?
We'll find out, won't we?
Ned Beatty, who I know best as John Goodman's dad on Roseanne. John Goodman's abusive dad on Roseanne.
Huh. I'm sure.
Are you keeping up with the Connors?
I'm sure I saw that growing up, but I don't remember that. I am not keeping up with Connors.
Oh.
But that is a very funny thing.
That it exists?
That it exists.
That it's gone 3 seasons since it was the reboot of Roseanne.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They killed her on the show.
Oh, you've got bad politics. We're going to bring your dead husband back and pretend that he was alive the whole time and you were dead.
But that was from the start.
No, I thought in Roseanne...
No, okay. Let me... Drew.
Oh, sorry. End of Roseanne.
Let me take you through the
okay.
Roseanne timeline.
Please do.
The last season of Roseanne.
Please, Scott Henson at not Scott Henson. Please tell me about the rest of the timeline of the Roseanne Barr family.
Andrew Douglas...
Roseanne Connors.
Well, Andrew Douglas Smith at Sarah Softpaws.
Okay, that, but okay.
First, also, speaking of at not Scott Henson... As of right now, and hopefully it's already happened by the time you hear this, give me like 3 more followers on Twitter, because then I'll be 6666 followers.
Nice.
Number of the beast plus 1. Plus a whole, not 667. Not number of the beast plus 1 mathematically. Plus a whole other 6.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So do it. You know what? If new deal, FDR style. If I don't have 6,666 followers by the time this airs for regular listeners, not you sneaky premium members, then I will. How far into the podcast are we?
2 minutes 45 seconds.
Then I will kill myself.
Also, I just unfollowed you, so you have to.
Refollow now, or this podcast is fucking over.
Do you know how many at not Scots there are?
2.
Not Scott Moore. Not Scott
Don't give
Evans,
them any praise. No. 99999.
Not Scott Jackson. Not Scott _BDGE. Not Scott Spencer.
BDG. Big dick going everywhere.
Well, maybe. Not Scott Geisel. Not Scott York. There's a lot of not Scots.
Drew,
you're not even number 1.
Refollow me right now.
I just did.
Good.
Not Scott really Moore. Has more is higher on the not Scott
on the not Scott chain.
He's got more followers than you, so that makes sense.
What's his deal?
Pixel art and open source enthusiast.
Get out of here.
Co-founder of Gitcoin, Kernel OX, steward at Enso Domains.
No, I'm already done with this.
Well, I'm gonna say, judging by the art he posts. He's more talented than you.
No.
Can you draw this?
He's probably... Okay, wow. That's very good. He's more talented than me at pixel art.
Yeah, he also has almost 10,000 followers.
I can hit him.
But he's following 3.6, so he obviously doesn't know how Twitter works.
Yeah.
He's following too many.
3.6 million.
Yes. I mean, you're following 2.3, which is...
I haven't done a cull in so long. As I said, I told you my plan for the cull. I'm going to try to get down to 1488 for no particular reason. And if I can't get that far, I'm at least going to 1776 because I'm a patriot.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go out on a angry tangent right now real quick before you finish this Roseanne thing.
Certainly.
You got 6,663 followers
as of right now. Better be 3 more pretty soon. I'm just saying.
If you people are listening to this podcast on the reg And you're following Scott, but not me?
Follow Drew.
Fuck you.
Follow Drew, you asshole.
Because I don't have that many followers.
You don't, but let's fix it.
400?
Let's
I have exactly 400 followers.
I'm going to unfollow you.
I think
what's that? Refresh? $3.99.
I honestly think that I've unfollowed you several times over the course of Twitter.
I'm sure
when you've gotten close to something.
Oh yeah, when it's almost it's milestone time.
No, I'm going to give you 1 month. I'm going to make you work for it. I will eventually follow you back, but right now I'm making you work for it. But yeah, anyways.
But yeah, let's get Drew to 1,000 by Monday. Bold?
That's real bold, but let's go for it.
At Sarian Softpaws. Get on it right now. Or Daddy's going to be angry next week.
Yeah.
There's going to be a punishment next week.
He's going to be real angry.
Yeah. Before we get to the main event, Roseanne, because this is part 2 of what you listened to yesterday, right? Right. Here's very quickly, in case you forgot, all the important things you should be doing. You should be, well, this one's at your discretion, but doing latecomer requests for this very All Request Spectacular. You still want to get in? Great, you can. $50 or more per movie selection to paypal.me/NotScottHansen. Done. We're back with Manscaped. In fact, we never left, but we were in a weird limbo state with them for a while. We are back in the mix. Manscaped.com, promo code CATS20. Just go there and buy one of each.
Just do it.
Just do it.
One of everything, all around for everybody.
Join. Go to this very YouTube, youtube.com/@NotScottHansen. Click join. Pay monthly money, get very soon fancy custom badges, and not even very soon already, including this episode, early access to episodes for $10 and up subscribers. And cameo.com/scoot in case you want me to show feet or do something less humiliating.
Show butt.
I bet you can't, but
probably not.
I wouldn't mind trying.
But what is Cameo really monitoring?
That's
everything everybody does?
Who's got to know?
Also,
who's got to know?
Why does it matter? If somebody wants to pay you whatever the amount is to show your bare ass, like not even asshole, just bare cheeks, like why does it matter?
$5 to see it, $10 to ride.
It's the same thing with like.
Why are you showing me your butt? Oh, you thought that was ding dong money? Nah.
And $10 for a ZJ. What's a ZJ? Whoa. If you don't know, you can't afford it. But it's the same thing with like, creator content and stuff. Yeah, there's some minors watching things for, every now and then. But like, we're adults.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with television. Like, how can you not say certain things? We're all fucking adults.
Fucking adults.
Fucking adults. We're not fucking children, except for some of us are fucking children.
Certainly. How far in the podcast?
8 minutes.
You can talk about fucking children in 8 minutes.
Oh, I was just saying it in a sense of like fucking children, not actively fucking children.
Oh, okay.
I like where your mind immediutely went when you heard those two words together.
If you're going to put them together, I'm going to put something else together.
You and
them cheeks.
Yo, okay.
Yeah, I think I accidentally signed up for Cameo when it should have been OnlyFans.
Maybe.
I think I played this wrong, but we'll see. But I did get to do that cool Avatar review this morning.
You did.
So.
Don't you mean yesterday morning? Because this is the Sunday episode.
Yeah.
How was that Popeyes we had last night?
Yeah. Look, we're not. Who are we fooling? It was good Popeyes. How was your Popeyes? Are you back on the train?
I'm back on the Popeyes.
With the secret Popeyes that is the new secret Popeyes that is way closer to your house than the one we were expecting to go to.
Didn't even know. Put it into GPS and it was like 20 minutes. Like, what?
20 minutes to go to coffee and there. I'm like, it should be a lot longer than that. And then, it's because the new Popeyes is 2 minutes from coffee, and the coffee is not that far from you.
Not bad.
So, if keen-eared listeners have been paying attention, you can probably dox Drew with all that information.
Yeah, I guess.
You triangulate.
Yeah, you get a general idea, though.
Yeah. Send the SWAT team.
Send the SWAT team. Yeah. You just got to find a radius of 20-minute drive that gets you
You need coffee close to Popeyes. 20-minute total trip between the two from your place.
Yeah, that's a pretty big net, though.
I could find Kristen Vangsness on New Criminal Minds could find it like that.
I'm sure she could.
She's one of those internet super sleuths.
She's a hacker?
She's a hacker.
Yeah. Whatever happened to which show was
the 45-year-old goth computer lady on was that NCIS?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Very funny.
Yeah,
She's very funny.
I mean, a 50-year-old woman playing a 30-something who's like a expert computer hacker.
A 55-year-old playing a 35-year-old who dresses like a 20-year-old.
Or like a 15
Or a 15-year-old. Yeah. She's got like goth bangs.
Yeah. Goth bangs and ponytails.
Oh yeah. She's ridiculous.
And like skirts over jeggings over with Ugg boots on.
She dresses like Darby Allin.
But the key word is, does she make paintings out of cum and blood?
I mean, that is the key word. And who's to say?
No, let's ask her.
Now, Roseanne. Here's how it went down.
Roseanne, not Barr, not Arnold, but Connor.
Connor, yeah. So the original show in the 1980s and 1990s went for a solid 8 seasons, and then they did a 9th season, I believe. I think my numbers are correct, but I have been known to be one off before. But they could have done a Scrubs, where they do 8 good ones, and then for some reason didn't stop.
Yeah.
So they do 8 seasons, and then the 9th and final season of the original show, they win the lottery. And I guess I had stopped watching by this point, because I remember almost none of this, but they won the lottery, and I guess they spent the whole last season like living high on the hog. Like they bought a mansion, or I really don't know.
Was it fucking Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, I think they did a Beverly Hillbilly. I think they did the Lanford Hillbillies. And and then it's revealed in the series finale that whole season was a story or something that Roseanne had written.
Yeah. And
none of it was real, and what actually happened was John Goodman fucking died. And that was the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I watched any of that season, but it sounds very funny. Everyone hates it. And I'd kind of like to watch it to see like what they were thinking.
I think I probably stopped watching maybe halfway through it. Not the season, but like the series.
Yeah.
Like I probably saw the first 5 seasons, and then that was it.
Yeah, if I'm right about there being 9 seasons, I probably watched most of 7. Because I definitely saw them go to Becky 2, my close personal friend Sarah Chalk.
Shops in my store.
Currently of Rick and Morty fame,
and
then back to
it went 9 seasons. So if somebody wants to pay for us to watch,
someone wants to
24 22-minute episodes.
Yeah,
to watch the 9th season of Roseanne.
I'll conservatively call that $500.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
is that about right? That's about right. Yeah, someone wants to pay $500 for season 9 of Roseanne. We're in. So keep that.
That is a very big flex from whoever wants to do it.
Yeah,
huge flex.
Yeah, a Malcolm flex.
A Malcolm flex.
Local.
Noted Black Panther Malcolm flex. The good kind, not the bad kind.
I think they're both the good kind. So that's how that went down, and then Roseanne reboot started 20 odd years later. They ignored the last season of regular Roseanne, as they should have, and then I think they just did 1 season. And then Roseanne took a bunch of Ambien and popped off on Twitter. They fucking fired her.
Yeah.
And they had her character die of an opiate overdose.
Was it actually an opiate?
100%.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a risky maneuver.
Yep.
Because that's like a serious problem in the world.
Yep.
All right.
That's how they killed Roseanne. And they've done, this is at least a third, maybe more season of the Connors, which kept up after that.
That's wild.
Yeah. Very exciting.
And didn't at one point they do both Beckys?
I think they might have done both Beckys on a Halloween episode.
Maybe.
Yeah, new Roseanne the Connors has only been original Becky because Sarah Chalk's busy.
Scott,
You
what if I told you
okay? I knew it. Guys, I fucking knew it.
that we are currently in the
Living in a simulation?
5th season of The Connors.
That honestly sounds right because I feel like the Roseanne thing was like right around the Trump election,
Yeah.
which was 6 years ago.
You know who doesn't?
And 6 years ago and 2 more years from now.
You know who doesn't look good?
Roseanne?
John Goodman.
He
I know he lost all that weight. He's
shouldn't have.
super healthy.
It made him old.
Looks horrible.
It made him old. He lost 100 pounds and gained 100 years.
Yeah.
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 Like, yeah, I said, I'm sure he is healthier, but he doesn't look right. He's one of those guys who looks healthier fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His body was meant to be thick.
Yeah. Relatable. Game recognizes game.
Can't recognize the game. Oh, I did not realize that William H. Macy's on it.
Not much.
Katie Siegel's also on.
She's new Roseanne.
Oh, that's his new wife?
Well, not really, but he married her. Yeah.
Nice.
And Jackie married Nat Faxon.
Cool. Oh, the kid who played the son.
Oh, he doesn't get to be on anymore.
Oh, he aged horribly.
Yeah, no, he did one of those tough, cute child, rough adult situations.
Did he have some kind of fucked up? Was he friends with Charlie Sheen?
No, just Dan Schneider. So I don't know what could have gone wrong. Yeah, he's on. I'm gonna say he is in 5 minutes in 1 out of 10 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Is about right.
Apparently, I did not know this about him. Not like I would know a lot about him.
About DJ. I was going to say DJ Tanner.
DJ Tanner.
That's a different DJ. I'm going to say DJ Connor.
DJ Connor.
Dan Jr.
Like after original Roseanne and stuff.
Nothing?
He played professional baseball in Japan and Mexico.
Wow, I did not know that either.
Yeah, that's
good for
weird,
him,
right?
Couldn't make it in the big leagues, but hey, I'm not going to hold it against you.
Breaking news on the news. One Kelly Lillian Summers has stated, "I don't work tomorrow now, so we can start earlier if need be."
Well, very
What
exciting.
a champion.
Well, you guys are getting the New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 17 review at about the same time, but we'll have more time to do it. So good for us.
Kelly Summers. It's weird that he wouldn't work all of a sudden, because it seems like he always has to work.
Do you think he
lost
lost
work
his
the whole time?
Do you think he lost his job a year ago and has just been pretending to go to work?
Is that why he killed his family?
To trick his wife, and also he killed his family.
Is that why he killed his parents and nobody lives there?
I think he might have killed his parents.
Every time we've gone to Kelly's house,
Post-COVID.
no one else is home.
Yeah, like post the beginning of
Post
COVID.
the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
No one else is ever home.
And like used to be a lot more regular that
I feel like his parents were never not home.
almost every time. So
I don't know.
I think Kelly might have killed his
If
parents.
there's we need to check under the patio for recently disturbed soil.
Yes.
Then we'll be able to tell.
You've been watching your procedurals.
where he put Hank, Henry, and do we even know what Kelly's mom's name is?
Lillian Senior.
Lillian Senior.
If we didn't have to review 8 movies, I'd like to end on that. Because that's...
You want to end 20 minutes in and just release it? Fuck it.
I mean, I'd love to, but we have work to do.
Yeah, I know. Should we just get moving and stop having so much fun being around each other and talking about our other friend who's not here that nobody knows? And
you know, okay, I'm gonna say a gay thing. Okay,
what? Unheard of on this podcast.
I'm gonna say a gay thing. We're not going to acknowledge it, and then we're gonna go straight into Ghostbusters Afterlife 2021.
Deal.
Coming to you from Eve.
Deal.
I have been fantasizing finishing this podcast so we can just be done and hang out. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2021. What?
No, I had thought of a funny parody song at work that I was going to, like, work it out on the podcast, but now I can't remember what it is.
Oh, it was a good idea.
Can't remember what it is. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2021, a movie that definitely should have been made.
Definitely. How come... Now, I hate to hold your feet to the fire. I'm really putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
How come there can only be, like, one child/teenage actor at a time? Like, in the world?
Because
we had Jacob Tremblay for a while of Book of Henry fame, and now it's...
The wrong son died.
Now it's Wolf Dickhard.
Wolf Dickhard. That's literally my first note, is Wolf Dickhard.
Yeah. He's the only one.
Because they can only take one out of school at a time.
Can I say a second gay thing?
You want to do something to Wolf Dickhard?
Sort of.
Oh.
I could have done something to Wolf Dickhard. I'm very persuasive.
Just being in the same room as someone doesn't mean...
That is all I need. You get me in the same room, I'm getting business done.
Never fucking worked on me.
But I opted out of being in the same room. Adam messaged me, said, "Hey, Wolf Dickhard is over. Do you want to hang out?" I said, "No, I have plans with Drew and Kelly." And I kept him like a gentleman. I could have fucked a boy while Adam watched.
Could have. Could have, and never again.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I'll never get the opportunity to do... Well, I mean, not the Wolf Dickhard. Are we only going to call him Wolf Dickhard?
Yeah. I don't even know what his real name is. Finn
Wolfhard, which is almost as funny.
Yep.
But Wolf Dickhard is just slightly better.
Is the sister just trans young Sheldon?
Ooh! Yeah! Yeah, it kind of is.
Because, yeah.
She, I was trying to do something with, because young Sheldon was what, Ian Armitage?
I couldn't fucking...
Okay, don't sit there. Do not sit there and act like you don't know who young Sheldon is.
$10 billion, I couldn't have told you what the gay kid in Little Sheldon is.
I'm going to say it's Ian Armitage. Sure. I'm just guessing.
Sure.
But I was trying to do something with, like, a trans version of that. Like, it's not really trans, but, like, Ian Hermitage is close.
That kind of sounds like a hermaphrodite.
Well, that's what I was going for.
Oh, okay.
But that's as close.
Then it works.
Yeah.
Then it works.
But also, the Hermitage is like a famous museum.
Sure.
In
I only know the Louvre.
Russia.
And the Met.
Here's my problem. I know...
And the Vag.
I know a little about everything. So So that's why I'm good at Jeopardy. And if you don't press me, it seems like I am a full genius and that I know everything.
Right.
But if you press me on any specific thing, I have no further information.
Okay.
I have like the absolute most surface knowledge of most things, and then nothing below that. But let me see if I have a clue about the Hermitage.
I like the idea of starting a conversation about something that you only know the basics of.
Yeah.
And then just letting the conversation happen and you never say anything.
Yeah.
I like doing that where I'm the shit disturber of the conversation.
Yeah.
Where I'll say something controversial to a group of people or like make a tweet. Or I used to do it on Facebook all the time before Facebook was like super right wing and fucked up. Where like I would say something controversial and then see which ones of my friends from the opposite side of the spectrum could get into an argument over it, and I would say literally nothing.
Oh yeah, you're done.
Yeah,
yeah.
You drop it.
Yeah,
and then you just go.
You don't stick
have
around.
Fun.
Yeah,
and you watch fucking Kevin and whoever my most liberal friend are that don't know each other.
Anyone from Washington.
Have never met each other. Will never meet each other.
Yeah.
Just go head to head in an argument over whatever thing I've said. It's perfect. I used to love doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's... The only thing I love more than that is catfishing, but I'm way too lazy to catfish.
Yeah.
Catfish is way too much work on me. At least doing that is work on everybody else.
I think once the requests are done, I'm going catfish.
We're gonna catfish somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to
We're
say
gonna
we're gonna catfish somebody.
devote a lot of time. I'm talking like 100 different accounts, all interacting with each other, so they all seem real, and then fucking get someone.
Well, I mean, I guess if we double team the catfishing,
that's only 50 apiece.
50-50, then we just get them to send us money.
Yeah.
Then that's the game plan.
Sure.
Right? And then,
or ruin their life.
And then when we get caught, we just...
slow clap them.
Yeah, but I mean, you were talking sexual to another man. Well, you got me there.
You got me there.
You got me there.
Is that your dog?
Don't worry about the dog. Don't worry about him. It's the greatest episode of any reality television show ever.
Yeah,
maybe
any television.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a couple really good Kenny versus Spennies.
There are some very good Kenny
like the
versus
reveals, especially the who can hook up with the most women.
Who can hook up with the most women?
That one's really good.
Who can win a 10-mile race?
That who can win a 10-mile race is also really good.
Yeah,
that's really really good. We need to do a deep dive rewatch on that too. But when do we have fucking time?
Yeah, Jurassic Bark episode of Futurama.
No, that's too sad.
Nice upbeat.
Nope, too sad.
One of the funniest episodes of an animated show ever. Are you crying
I'm
right
crying
now?
Right now. Just thinking about it is making me cry.
Took off your glasses and started wiping your eyes. The State Hermitage Museum is a museum of art and culture in St. Petersburg, Russia.
Oh, I was going to say Vladivostok, but...
Ooh, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
I would like to hang out.
It's not the coolest place.
No, but it's Siberia adjacent.
Yeah.
And nobody like Eastern... Well, it's because nobody lives there, I guess. But like Eastern Russia doesn't get any play.
Nope.
There's Vladivostok and nothing.
Well...
just bleakness.
The best place is... I'm going to assume that it's pronounced Amur.
That's Amore.
A-M-U-R.
Mm-hmm.
Which
they have their own kind of leopards, don't they?
Not only do they have their own type of leopards, but it is also where the Continental Hockey League team is that has the actual live tiger as their mascot.
Ooh, they're doing good cat-wise.
They're doing cat. They got their own. They own their own leopard, and then they got a fucking hockey team that has a real live tiger as their mascot, which is the best fucking mascot you can have.
It is something, and tough to pull off in any civilized country.
Any civilized country.
I was gonna say in America. I'm like America, Canada, probably in Mexico, anywhere in Europe.
Look at how big the territory for the Amur leopard used to be, and then how big it is now.
A then and now situation.
Orange is history, blue is now.
Oh, so orange is like a whole lot of Southeast Asia and China. And now it's
Russia.
like. Yeah, now it's like 6 square blocks in China.
It's like right on the China-Russia border.
Yeah. Let's get them back.
They used to be in South Korea, North Korea.
Yeah, they're all over the Korean peninsula.
Yeah, but then they massacred
when
them.
they weren't getting their asses fucked by Japan.
Well, can't win them all.
Yeah.
Can't win them all, or in this case,
any
can't win any, and then get completely tortured and massacred for years.
Yeah. And they then kind of go nuts.
Nothing like getting boiled alive. Anyways, back to Ghostbusters.
Okay, Ghostbusters.
So yeah, this is trans young Sheldon. So
yeah, she really is.
We start off with a.
I wrote, I love Carrie Coon, but I bet I won't love her in this.
Yeah, probably.
But like she was okay.
Her last name's cool.
It comes up later.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes up in a note later.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So we see what we are supposed to believe is the 7 years long ago dead in 2014? 2016?
No, because Girl Ghostbusters was 2016.
Yeah, 2014.
Ramus was like 14.
So the reanimated corpse of Harold Ramis as Egon. Don't see his face, though. We get to see, like, almost a side profile from a distance, but the idea is you don't see him.
They're being very coy.
He's on some kind of farm.
Dirt farm.
A dirt farm. Well, we don't learn that right away.
Yeah.
And he is running from a field back towards his house.
Yeah.
Something's chasing him. He's got some kind of electromagnetic traps.
He's doing
And
science.
fields set up in his front yard. Then as he goes to give the whatever thing is chasing him the old zapparoo,
Yep.
he blows a breaker or something, and he can't do it, so he's got to run in the house, and he gets his old Ghostbusting gear, and he thinks that he's safe, and then he gets fucked into a chair by some kind of monster,
Yeah.
and dies, and R.I.P. 7 years later. And
Okay, I'm jumping the gun a bunch.
Okay.
For a note that I made for. I'm spoiling everything. This is it. This is the last one.
I like when you've given up on keeping this in some form of
No, because it's worth talking about here. It's worth talking about in literally any Ghostbusters. And I'm tired of being silenced.
Okay.
By Big Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
My second least favorite big thing after dog.
That's true. Big dog ruins a lot of things.
Monopolizing the TF community.
Yep. Where can be things that aren't dogs or wolves?
There's all kinds of wares out there, guys. Don't gotta be wolves. This is a note I made, dare I say, last night, which is why it's fresh in my head.
Is that because you just watched this last night?
No, I just watched an episode of The Real Ghostbusters last night. Maybe comes up next week, maybe doesn't. Who's to say?
Way to fucking spoil it for me.
That's what I said. I'm spoiling everything. Like everything's on the table. Literally every iteration of Ghostbusters, the 4 movies, and apparently also the television show, like need to figure out and establish what ghosts are, because none of them fucking do. Like, they're not just spirits of dead people.
Yeah.
They're just monsters.
Ghouls and Slimers,
Like,
and
they're just monsters. It's our real monsters. Get it together, Ghostbusters.
yeah, it is a real loose understanding of what ghosts are.
Yeah.
But Ghostbusters is just the name of the group. I don't know that they're specifically stating they only bust ghosts.
Follow-up question. Does busting make you feel good?
Only on Little St. James.
Never big.
Never big.
Never big.
Scott, there's nothing to bust. There's nothing to bust on or bust in on Big St. James.
You can put any preposition you want after bust, and you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, but if you go to Little St. James,
Hey.
there's lots of things that'll make you you can bust.
If you do you like temples?
I do.
Do you like scary owl statues?
I do.
Do you like Judaism?
Not as much.
No. Do you like children?
No.
Oh.
Do you like underground hidden bunkers?
Yes.
Do you like being able to only access the island by helicopter?
Yes.
Do you like Bill Clinton?
Love him.
Then
I love him 26 times.
26 times. I don't know where you made me lose my train of thought. Anyways, now we go to like
Carrie Coon and the Coons.
Manhattan. I don't think you can say that. Back to New York.
I don't know. It felt kind of good to say. I might say it again later.
Yeah, try it again later. Let's see if it has lasting power.
Let's see if I say it during. Is there anything where it doesn't work?
No, I don't think so.
No, man. We have a very white series of movies.
Yeah,
I'm safe saying it in every one.
No, there's one, but I don't think you want to call him that because he might come here and kill you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he might get you.
Yeah, no, I'm playing it safe.
Okay, smart.
Smart.
So we get introduced to a family consisting of Dick Wolfhard and
Young girl Shelton.
young trans Sheldon and Carrie Coon,
Yep.
who are living in it's like a house, and they're obviously not well off because the house is falling apart, and there's no, they don't have a lot going on, and it turns out that her father has died, and she has to go deal with his personal effects and house, but
The second movie, this episode, this two-part episode, where someone inherits a house and is mad about it.
Correct. But this one is more justified about being mad about it. You hate your father.
You hate your dad.
And he lives in the middle of bumfuck nowhere like Kansas.
Yeah, and owns what everyone in town describes as dirt farm.
Dirt farm. P.S. First Ghostbusters have anything to take place outside of New York.
True.
So she's going to go to the farm to get the house and things that she's inherited. But what she doesn't tell her kids is that they actually got kicked out of the place they were living because she couldn't afford to pay rent.
Yep.
And they are not going to the dirt farm temporarily. They are going to the dirt farm
to live because this is
forever.
your dumb life now, kids. Hope you didn't like New York.
I hope you didn't like all of your friends and easy accessibility to, I don't know, literally everything
in the world.
24/7.
Yep.
Also living in one of the world's largest like airport hubs, or where you can get food anywhere at any time of day. Nope.
Rural Kansas will be about the same.
Yeah, I would say about and the population size is pretty similar, and I'm sure they have good pizza, and you can get
some of the best,
and you can get drugs whenever you need them, and
you can probably get meth.
That's true.
Yeah,
you could get meth.
Meth
is very easy to get.
There is no place in America so shitty that you can't get meth.
You make a valid argument.
Yeah.
They get there. They get to the house. It's a piece of shit. They meet the person who's in charge of sort of caretaking the house.
Yeah.
And I wrote, even after all these years, Annie Potts still looks pretty fucking good at 70 years old.
Annie Potts or Elvira,
This is the 70-year-old women are hot podcast.
Yeah.
Because she looks good.
She does look good.
She looks very good.
Yeah.
Takes very good care of herself.
She's always cute.
They're in the house, and there's a lot of weird things, and then
it's a bunch of earthquakes.
Trans young Sheldon sort of gets starts having all these like weird occurrences where things are like shown to her, like or like brought like oh something's telling me I should look to my right, and then like oh what's that thing, and like just like a bunch of weird random things. But there's a bunch of earthquakes that they can't really explain, and then now the kids have to start school, so they're going into town to like I guess like figure out the way that the town is laid out and where things are. And here's my racist rant of the podcast.
Ooh, we did it.
Oh, gee, it's 2021. Of course we have to have an interracial love interest. God forbid, whites like whites.
Stay in your lane.
Now, to be fair, this is coming from a man who almost exclusively doesn't date whites, so I'm allowed to say it.
That's true.
I've been given a pass.
And I'm allowed to say it because I'm racist.
That is also true.
Yeah.
And you hate women.
True, but so do you.
Yeah, but at least I'll have sex with them.
If only we had the video for this. You got me there.
You got me there. So they have to go to the school. Do you have a note before they moving on? Or
I have a note at school.
So they show up, and of course Dick Wolfhard is very unenthusiastic and unhappy about going to school, but he's met this mulatto girl who he now wants to.
I don't think you can say that.
Why?
I don't know.
She is, and he wants to go to Pound Town with her. He wants to get his wolf dick hard.
That's why he's called that.
If he was ever in a werewolf movie and he doesn't hang dong,
oh my god! So imagine if Wolf Dick Hard didn't get his wolf dick hard.
I would be so mad. And then of course
I'm gonna tell Adam to tell him that.
Yeah. Do it. Hey, you should look for scripts where you have to hang dong as a werewolf.
Yeah. And you should not look for scripts that don't have that. You should exclusively
look for hanging dong movies. Yeah.
He's old enough, right? We're not being super gross.
I couldn't tell you.
He's over 18.
Yeah, he's definitely over 18. He's like 20.
Yeah.
So young Sheldon gets to the school.
I literally went to search Wolf Dick Hard in IMDb. What the fuck?
I like not being able to call people by their actual names. Is he way too young? Are we disgusting?
I wasn't there because something else came up.
Oh, because you looked up Wolf Dick Hard and it gave you something else?
Born December 23rd, 2002. 2, happy 20th birthday, Wolf Dickhard. The reason I paused is because we got a live during pod $50 request.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
That's happened once before.
It's happened once or twice before, and it's always very exciting.
I like it.
It's from, I'm going to say at this point, friend of the show, Zachary K.,
Okay.
who brings the goods.
Sometimes.
And he has
given us a full season of an anime that has 2 movies explaining the 2 of them that are going to make both of us lose our minds.
Now, Zach's cool. He's a sports guy.
That's true. He is a sports guy.
And I certainly know the series. I don't think I've seen, nor do I know what it's about. ESPN 30 for 30, Fantastic Lies. Is it new?
I'm unfamiliar.
Yeah. Well, this is worth...
Let's have some silence on the podcast.
While we both search for something. I think that's always the right move. 30 for 30, fantastic. What are we looking at? We are looking at, 2016. How did I not see this? ESPN's Fantastic Lies is a tremendously unsettling documentary you need to watch. Who's it about? Oh, Duke lacrosse team! Duke.
Duke.
I actually haven't watched it.
Duke. I haven't seen either.
I've seen my share of 30 for 30s, including the best one, Big Shot. If you haven't watched 30 for 30 Big Shot, go watch it. It's awesome.
I have every single one of them on this computer right now.
Check you out.
Yeah, Big Shot's a really good one. I mean, there's a lot of...
there's tons of good ones, but none are funnier than Big Shot. No. A guy who scammed his way into being 1 inch from buying the Philadelphia Flyers.
New York Islanders. You
know why I did that? Orange in the logo.
Not really.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Look, man, don't
Scott.
Don't tell my brain how to work. My brain that confused MMA fighters, Randy Couture white man, and Diego Sanchez decidedly not white man and different weight class because their first names both had 5 letters and their last names both had 7 letters. Yeah, there's orange on it.
I know.
Yeah, apologize.
I think in my head there was less orange.
Apologize.
No.
Have you ever apologized?
You're not Jesse Jackson. I don't know shit.
Kiss it. I'm going to make you kiss it.
No.
I'm sleeping here tonight. I'm doing stuff to
you. Jesse Jackson is not the king of black people. He told my dad he was.
He ran for president.
That's fucking wild. There's a Chuck and Tito episode?
Oh, did I watch that?
I don't know.
I like how we're very distractible.
Well, it's because we got this fucking thing, and I was looking it up.
This is on you, Zach. It's a good thing you've requested multiple movies and are subscribing to the YouTube, or else I'd be pissed.
There were a bunch in 2022 that I did not see.
I think I've seen some new ones. What was Ric Flair 21?
Yeah, maybe 21. There's a Dream On about the
Aerosmith?
1996 Dream Team. There's one on...
It's about the... I saw that.
There's a Greg Norman one.
I've not seen... Oh, is it about him choking?
Yeah, it's called Shark. I don't know. The story of legendary golfer and how his career was shaped by one stunning day at the Masters Tournament in 1996. The greatest mixtape ever, the late 90s.
I was about And One. I watched that. Okay. It was good.
And then The Tuck Rule.
I also watched that.
Okay. Well, then I got 4 30 for 30s I gotta watch. And then Janet Leigh versus some women's billiards player. Women's sports.
Pass.
Get out of here.
Pass, ESPN. I guess not everyone can be a winner.
The Oscar.
You want to tell people
one.
about how you have long COVID?
Yeah, Oscar Pistorius one, the Long Gone Summer one, B. Water, the Lance Armstrong
Long Gone
one,
Summer's
the Michael
good.
Vicks one, Chuck and Tito, the Rodman one. Yeah, there's a lot of great ones. Anyways, we got too much going on to keep doing this, Scott.
I know.
Why are we so bad at doing a podcast?
We are among the worst, but also we're kind of cute about it.
I think we'd be better at it if we saw each other more frequently. Because if we saw each other more frequently, we wouldn't have to hey, this, hey, there's so many things we gotta talk about. Whereas if we saw each other way more, we'd be like, let's just get this fucking podcast over so you can get the fuck out of my house, and I never have to talk to you again.
But now I'm going to live here.
I guess. So little young Sheldon, female young Sheldon, or trans young Sheldon, whatever I'm calling her, gets to school, and she's met by mega hunk Paul Rudd, who is the summer school teacher.
Who develops a special interest in her. No, I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yeah, that's a movie for later on. Paul Rudd and the mom.
Yeah, would you describe Paul Rudd as a Martin Sheen type?
I might. So Paul Rudd, like, obviously, charming, funny, very smart.
Yep.
He's showing VHS tapes.
More believable school teacher than Mark Wahlberg.
Absolutely. Have you guys heard about these bees? Have you seen about these bees?
Guys, why am I so out of breath?
Say hello to your mother for me. He's like a very good teacher, but he's obviously teaching summer school, and he knows the kids don't give a fuck, so he's just showing horror movies that he finds in the teacher's lounge.
Cool teacher.
So Cujo is the first one they show, which is, to me, terrifying, because I saw it way too young.
Because you're
way too young to see Cujo.
So Big Dog got you pretty early.
It did.
Yeah,
it did. So that movie's like, what, 90?
No, earlier.
Is it earlier than that?
It's 1967.
Okay.
1923. It's a silent film.
It's a silent film about a scary
it's
dog.
Stephen King's silent film about a scary dog.
Cujo.
If it's 1990, I'm going to be so pissed.
1983.
I knew it.
I always feel like it's later. I don't know why.
Apologize.
So I was -3 when it came out. And I probably saw it when I was
-14.
11 or 12.
And it was too early.
Which, way too early.
Yeah.
Scared the fuck out of me. But then turns out that what's her face brings she's I don't
use your words.
No, I mean, I saw it and I can't put together like the order of plot stuff. So first he's like trying to explain something, she knows the answer, then he's like, oh, an actual intelligent student who's like not here because they're a delinquent. And so they like have discussion about like the earthquakes that are happening, and they're being so far away from a fault line, blah blah blah.
And then it turns out he's Randy Marsh, local geologist, seismologist, whatever.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah.
Then my next note is just this fucking podcast kid. I fucking forgot he existed.
Let's transition over to Scott's notes. Fuck this kid. Follow-up note. Should we both nickname ourselves podcast?
Is that no? Because that's like calling yourself the Duke. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Dave. Oh, hey, I'm the Duke.
People call me Shooter.
Shooter.
Yeah. So they make
They call me Big Hank.
They make a Kansan Chinese friend.
Yeah. Well, they're literally everywhere. There's like 3 billion of them.
That's true. Some have to be in Kansas.
They gotta be everywhere.
By the law of averages.
There's one in this room right now.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, his nickname is Podcast because he has a podcast.
It
does appear to be a self-appointed nickname.
This running gag of the podcast thing, the whole movie,
hate it.
Made me so fucking angry.
It's one of those things where it's clearly written by old men who just found out what podcasts were in 2021.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know, Jason Reitman, who like is a mid 40-year-old man and probably stopped watching and listening to things in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So he's not really hip or cool. So having a like 12-year-old kid who has a podcast and carries around fucking recording equipment 24/7 and has like voiceover talks to himself and is like, the kids will think that's really funny because that's like really topical.
Super.
And then anybody watching it is like, I really hope this kid dies. I know people don't really die in Ghostbusters movies, but I wish that this was the first time.
Let's go against the grain.
Let's make it a grittier reboot of Ghostbusters
and
where
kill
this little Chinese kid dies.
Yeah.
Although he might not be Chinese, but whatever.
You know what? He's Chinese enough.
Yeah, that's true. It's all the same. Throw a dart in Asia, all the same.
Moscow.
I wrote...
I guess is Moscow in Europe?
I don't know. It's kind of like close to the middle, right?
Yeah.
It could be Asia.
What side of the Ural Mountains does Moscow fall on?
I don't know.
Write in. You know what? Give us a call live on the air. 591 Rock 591 Roll. Let us know. Let us know exactly what continent Moscow is in.
My next note is I wrote, I hope Ghost Granddad is nothing like Ghost Dad.
Oh, I mean, Ghost Dad wasn't all bad. Yeah,
not all Ghost Dads. No,
not all ghosts are dads,
but all Ghost Dads are pedophiles.
not bad, just rapists. Just regular adult rapists.
Regular, invite a nice lady over to your house for dinner, and then stick your limp penis in her unconscious mouth.
And like, that had to be that had to be the turn on, because like, he was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby could get pussy organically. Yeah. So he liked doing that.
Some people,
it wasn't a necessity, like, because like if I'm gonna get pussy, I have to drug them. But Cosby
wanted.
I'm not a Cosby type. I can't pull it just out of thin air.
You're not a Heathcliff Huxtable?
Yeah, that seemed very hard for you to say.
Is that his actual name?
Yeah, that's Bill Cosby's real name. No, Bill Cosby's his stage name.
What's his name in the fucking Cosby Show?
Heathcliff Huxtable. You got it.
But why is it called the Cosby Show?
Why was there's that. Oh, why was his name something other than Dick Van Dyke on the Dick Van Dyke Show?
I don't know. What was his fucking name?
Marlon
Van Dyke.
It wasn't Van. It was nothing. It was none of those things.
I know. That's so weird. They name shows like after it's a common actor.
And the short. I just watched the George Carlin documentary. Mm-hmm. George Carlin's American Dream. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he had a short-lived sitcom called The George Carlin Show, and his name was George something else. I'm like, why?
That's weird.
What's the point?
I don't understand why they just name it after the actor and not.
If it's named after the actor, that has to be their name on the show.
Like the Gary.
They can play a fictionalized version of themselves fine.
Like Jerry Seinfeld or Gary Shandling.
Yeah. No. You tricked me.
He wasn't Gary Shandling
You
in that?
tried to trick me.
He wasn't Gary Shandling in that?
No, he was Gary Shandling. Was there a Gary Shandling show?
Wasn't there? I thought there was.
I guess there was something besides Larry Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Also, Larry Sanders is a tricky one, because it kind of sounds like Gary Shandling, but it's not.
It does.
Dick Van Dyke on the Dick Van Dyke Show played Rob Petrie.
Was Mary Tyler Moore?
No, she was Laura Petrie.
No, on the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Great question. No follow-up. Okay. I'm not even looking at my phone.
Let's move it on.
No, Mary Richards. Fuck off.
What the fuck is going on?
Come on.
I wrote that I definitely had an English teacher in high school that showed us inappropriate movies that shouldn't have been shown in a public high school.
Nice.
He definitely showed us. Weirdly enough, I feel like we watched Candyman.
Nice.
I feel like one of the movies he showed us was Candyman.
Candyman 2021?
Yep.
Weird.
In high school in
You're still
2002.
in high school.
Yeah. Then he also showed us this movie called The Bear.
Oh, about like a big hairy gay guy?
Yep. Yeah, we watched gay porn.
You watched gay porn?
In my, I don't English 11 class.
I don't know if you should be showing that in English 11.
Probably not. But yeah, anyways, I don't know if that was just a note I wrote. Then I like when so young Sheldon discovers
she's all science, all business, all reason,
and discovers that her grandfather was Egon Spengler.
Yes.
And that's why she has like this love of science. Mm-hmm. And that's where she's sort of getting all this ghost grandpa shit where he's like, the ghost of him is presenting her with information.
Helping her out a little bit.
And helping her out.
But like, yeah, so Phoebe is just like straight up, I don't believe in ghosts. 2 minutes later, she sees irrefutable proof of ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, the world breaks open and ghosts pop out.
Well, I also love that she's looking on YouTube of footage of the Ghostbusters because she doesn't know them. But I love how awful movies are that the news footage was just actual footage from the first movie.
The movie, yeah.
So like it's not, you're not even trying to do a news coverage of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, they didn't turn it into news. You're just
showing
footage.
Clips from Ghostbusters as if it's the news. That's really fucking lazy.
When we're the news, what do they think they're doing?
I don't know. We're not lazy about anything. In fact, we go too hard. We go the opposite, where we're like, let's do this in an hour and a half, and we can't even fucking do that. We are 53 minutes in, and we've done one
we're almost halfway through movie
I've
one.
Got 400 notes left. So, anyways,
we'll be done soon.
She discovers all of the Ghostbusters stuff, the pack, the trap.
Also, Eve, you're welcome.
You're fucking welcome.
You are this week's Sonics.
Yes.
And Wild Tales.
Discovers all the equipment. They go out, her and the Chinese boy go out in a field to like use the equipment to see how it works. They hear a noise in an old abandoned factory. They go to check it out. And I was just like, you're literally willing to rip off everything else from the first movies. Like everything. But God forbid you use Slimer.
Yeah, you have to create
some
different ghost who eats stuff.
I don't even. Did I write the name down? No.
Chomper.
Chomper. So like, God forbid you.
Also, I just said that. I have no idea if that's accurate.
Like, you have to create a new Slimer, but you're literally willing to just redo the first movie.
Bigger and sort of pink,
and he's got 8 legs, and he crawls around like a caterpillar, kind of.
Yeah. It's fucking Slimer though. It's stupid.
100% the same thing. I don't understand why you can't just use Slimer.
Did they kill Slimer in the first one?
No, he's in the second one.
He's in the second one, and he's all over the damn place in real Ghostbusters.
He's the 5th Ghostbuster.
Yeah, he's part of the team. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know at what point they made friends. I don't know where in the canon that is.
After the second movie?
But real Ghostbusters is only after the first movie.
So then after the first movie, that explains why they're friends with him.
I guess so.
So they go and try to use the thing to get it, and then it gets away. Yeah. And then
0 for 1.
0 for 1. Then my next note is just kind of like, she's a really shitty mom. Like, she is. She hates her dad so much because he abandoned them when she was younger, and all she does is spend her whole time just being angry at her father that she doesn't give a shit about what her kids are doing.
She's too busy hating her dad to care about her kids.
And she like doesn't even treat young Sheldon like a kid. Like, it's just this whole like
maybe young girl Sheldon is like a Book of Henry type, and like she's kind of the actual head of the household, and she's doing the taxes while mom plays Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, because that's what grown adult women do, is they spend all of their time playing Call of Duty.
If I know one thing about grown adult women, it's that they love gaming.
Correct. Just ask Naomi Watts in Book of Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
I actually have a note about her at around the same time you do. So where's the dad? Or is Carrie Coon such a slut? She doesn't even know who the father is.
No, I think it's alluded to, right? Because I think Paul Rudd makes a reference to it, maybe, and she says,
I believe it is, but it hadn't been yet, and that was my initial. Initial theory.
Okay, yeah.
That she was just putting it on the stroll, and it could have been one of hundreds of people.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a real Who is Cartman's dad.
Yeah.
So Finn Dickhard and the mulatto girl he's in love with, and a bunch of the other like high school kids all go up on top of this mountain.
You gotta stop saying mulatto.
Why? I think it's
bad.
A scientific term
in the 1800s
for a mixture of a white and a black. Should I say mocha?
You do whatever feels good. I'm not going to try to.
The light-skinned African American girl that he is in love with.
Thank you.
Who is probably also mostly.
I think they prefer the term light-skinned.
They all go up on top of a like quarry thing to like party, and then there's
quarry, story, allegory,
Montessori. they're gonna go like hang out and party. There's another earthquake that happens. They hear a word, something yelled up from the mine that just says "Gozer."
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're doing this again.
Well, yeah, and then they, as they try to get out of roughshod, they get arrested.
That's the word you were looking
Yeah,
for.
whatever. So they go to jail or the holding cell, and my next note is just like
Child jail.
Like, oh, Bokeem Woodbine not playing a degenerate. That's weird.
Bokeem Woodbine, I would describe as dark-skinned.
He's dark-skinned for sure. So he's the sheriff. Turns out that
he's good in what? Fargo season 3.
Fargo, fuck yourself.
Fargo, fuck yourself.
Turns out that she's the dad of the light-skinned mixed race African American girl that Dick Wolfhard is in love with.
Getting worse.
There was a very awful line that made me so mad. Somebody killed that dog.
Me too, but I bet it's different than yours. Mine is one word.
When they're in the jail, and Finn Dickhard says, don't we get a phone call? And Bokeem Woodbine goes, yeah, who you gonna call? I was like, fuck you. Kill yourself.
That was fun. That was fun for everyone. I was like, I remember when they said the thing.
I remember.
Mine was probably just after they get out of jail and Paul Rudd's doing a bunch of research because there's because down at the quarry there's some weird shit like some statue-y things. Yeah. And so Paul's doing research and he's talking about some, I don't know, fucking Dead Sea Scrolls that he found.
Yeah.
And he was talking about I can't even remember how he pronounced it, but he didn't pronounce it the way it's pronounced. Because the text he found was cuneiform. But he did not say cuneiform. Nor did a single person on set or anyone in editing or anyone who saw the movie until it went to theaters worldwide know how that word is pronounced.
I don't think it went to theaters worldwide because it was during COVID. But anyways.
It went to some. Or none?
I don't know. Very little.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe like, he said it wrong. Who gives a shit?
Kind of, yeah.
I don't know if he said cuneiform or Carrie cuneiform.
Carrie cuneiform.
Yeah, it's cuneiform.
So yeah, well, they're investigating. Then a bunch of like shit.
Then we just do Ghostbusters 1 again.
100%. That's exactly what it is. Shit comes out of the mountain.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd runs away, runs to a Walmart to get something.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote, I love product placement, especially just filming inside of an actual Walmart.
Yeah.
Like, it's COVID and they're desperate for money. And you know what would be cheap? Filming inside of a Walmart. Let's film inside of a Walmart. Like, fuck it, whatever. So he goes in, then, I don't know, just for whatever reason, a bunch of little baby mini Stay Puft Marshmallow Mans just, like, come to life and
why not?
Start committing suicide.
They're kamikazes.
Which was very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
Then one of the...
Kill me.
Kill me. Yes, drink my blood.
Then one of the... gremlin thing, the dog monsters from the first one is just there.
Yeah, so I was mad because I said just a dog and no one turned into it.
Yep.
Lame. But I get my wish later.
Well, but also too, like, where did they come from?
I don't know.
Because like in the first one, they're on the building.
Yeah.
They are the gargoyles on the building.
Were they in like the under part of the quarry?
They're in the tunnel somewhere.
I guess.
Maybe, or I don't fucking know.
Or they forgot.
Or they didn't care.
Yep.
So he gets chased by it out to his car. It gets him.
Yeah.
And then that's it. We don't see what happens.
Yeah. Good news. Turns into a dog.
Good news. Turns into a dog. Then we get the kids. I don't know. There's not a lot going on until they get to the tunnel thing.
Yeah.
They just sort of like become the Ghostbusters. They get outfits somehow, even though they're designed for full-grown men and their children. But whatever.
I had questions about that, but okay.
Yep. Dick Wolfhard doesn't know how to drive, but now he just drives. It's cool.
Yep. Does he drive Angry 3D?
He does drive Angry 3D.
Cool.
They get...
The thing about that movie is it was filmed in 3D.
Yeah, that is true. It was filmed in 3D and then seen by nobody.
It was a nice idea.
They... Oh, I'm going to run out of steam real quick here, Scott. If we keep going, this is going to suck.
You should have got a coffee with me.
No, it's okay. I got another energy drink. I can just give myself a heart attack if I want.
Nice.
So, hey, there's Drew noises for you fuckers.
Hey.
Even though I don't do it on purpose. Maybe I do it on purpose. I don't know.
I think you're just full of noises.
I'm just full of noises. And I'm like, the more we talk about this, the less steam I'm going to get. Let's just power through it. So, they go to get Chomper or whatever.
Yeah.
They're in the Ecto one.
That's the car.
It
was in a shed.
It was in the shed,
At
and then
Dirt
they
Farm.
decided to drive it, because why not?
Because they're children. And
there
why
was
wouldn't you?
one scene that I was kind of like, well, that was fine. That they as they're driving it down the street, and the car has obviously not left the farm for a while, so it's covered in dirt, and they like splash past a puddle, and then it just like sprays up and washes all the dirt off the side of the car. I was like, that was all right. So they chase him, they catch him, then they have him in the trap. They go to tell their mom, and she's like, you know what? I wish I never had fucking kids. They're like, thanks, Mom. That's really supportive of what we're trying to tell you. We're just going to go back to the caves.
Yeah.
So then they go to the caves.
Caves are our new mom.
Where they find a glass case sarcophagus.
Yes.
Featuring the dead body of J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
Who is the man who built the building in the first
Ghostbusters
movie
1
and found this entire town.
Yeah. This dude was real psyched about old, again, not really ghosts, kind of ancient gods.
Ancient gods, sort of, yeah.
'Cause everything's under the ghost umbrella. It really bothers
me. It really is. I wrote, making them all women didn't work. What's next? Making them all kids, I guess?
Yep.
Because that worked. You know what? I did write Chomper, so maybe his name is actually Chomper.
Okay.
Oh, no. My note was, so Chomper, or whatever his name is, can fly through walls.
Yeah.
But his fat ass gets stuck in the bars for a second.
Yeah, it's unclear when and when not he can transmute through solid matter.
Yeah, I don't understand the rules of your Punjab prison.
Yeah.
However, I thought that getting him to bite through the jail block was smart.
Sure.
It was a good choice.
Yeah.
But also, he flew through things earlier.
Yeah.
So I don't get why he can't just get.
Couldn't tell you.
Anyways, maybe because he's got a chomp. Chomper's got a chomp.
Sure.
Then they accidentally awake Gozer.
Yeah. Mom's a dog.
Paul Rudd becomes
Is also a dog.
Oh, they fuck.
They fuck.
Yeah, they fuck. I forgot about that.
They fuck. They dog fuck?
No, they do the like Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, like, are you the gatekeeper? Are you the?
Yeah.
And then they're in the desert and they just kind of fuck each other.
Yeah. Then they're dogs.
Whatever. Yeah, then they're dogs.
Massive missed opportunity not turning Carrie Coon into a raccoon.
Yep. Could have done it.
I have notes, Jason Reitman.
Remake it.
Yeah. So then, Gozer show. Who's playing Gozer? Ezra Miller?
It just is not Ezra Miller.
Androgynous creep.
It's supposed to be
David Bowie.
I believe it is Olivia Wilde.
No.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's Olivia
That's interesting. I guess I've never seen her without long hair.
You've also probably never seen her covered in makeup and so Ghostbusters Afterlife.
I would never. I don't know if I would have guessed it was a woman.
It is a woman named Olivia Wilde.
Yep.
Now, don't look.
Olivia Wilde as Ezra
Stop
Miller
looking.
as Gozer. I'm not looking. J.K. Simmons.
That's a good guess.
Wolf Deckard.
Yeah, Gozer, Olivia Wilde.
I'll be damned.
Now, do you would you like to? Oh, do you know who played Egon Spengler? Ivan Reitman.
Oh, cute.
I didn't notice that. I guess because I thought it was just like a composite, but
Yeah.
I guess it was his face over Ivan Reitman, maybe.
That's very interesting.
His name was in fact Muncher.
Muncher.
Do you know who made the noises for Muncher?
Ivan Reitman.
Somebody that I fucking hate.
Olivia Wilde. Because you don't like female directors. Josh Gad, everyone's favorite.
Fuck.
Excessively likable Josh Gad.
Fuck him.
I would sacrifice Book of Mormon having never existed for Josh Gad not having a career.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you know who was the voice of Gozer?
Ivan Reitman.
Our girl and noted babe, who is in theory over 70 years old.
Helen Mirren. Shoreg Dashlu, my girl. Such a smoky voice.
And a babe.
Her voice is so smoky.
Born May 11th, 1952.
She is exactly, Drew, let me be clear, exactly 37 years older than my sister.
That's crazy.
They share a birthday.
Her birthday's 2 days after mine.
It's true.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. For an older
Love her.
This is the all older women are.
What is our
attractive
deal?
podcast. I don't know.
Is this what we like?
If you're over 70, we're gonna say that you're attractive.
Is this what gay guys do? Just pretend they like women over 70?
Yeah, they're like, she's got a beautiful hair.
Because they can't bring themselves to actually like fawn over like of comparable age women. So
yeah,
we just say how old famous women are hot, and then maybe people will think we're straight.
Betty Davis. Oh, a dreamboat. So they awaken Gozer. Gozer chases after them. They pretty much recreate the opening scene where they run back to the farm. They try to get all the traps and shit to work.
And it basically doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Motherfucker has been working on this trap for 30 years, and it didn't work.
Power overload.
What a loser.
Power overload.
I'm glad he's dead.
Well, you can say that. That's fine. Well, yeah, I mean, I think just too much power to the circuits, and it just blew it.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is maybe something in the 30 years that Egon was working on it that he could have accounted for.
You don't know. But yeah, probably. This leads to the showdown of Gozer coming towards the house.
Yeah.
And then from off screen you kind of get a hey ass face, and then she turns and oh look, it's the three other guys that are still alive that aren't Harold Ramis.
The ones who aren't dead.
Yeah, well, because I guess earlier in the movie, we
got a Dan Aykroyd scene.
Yeah, trans young Sheldon calls the phone number for the Ghostbusters commercial that she watched, and it goes to a book and a weird antiquities store.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd's the Wiccan bookshop.
Yeah, that he runs, and she kind of says I'm calling about Egon Spengler, and he's like, Egon Spengler can rot in hell or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, he died 3 days ago, and was like,
aw.
Oh man, now I feel bad about saying that.
Yeah.
And so then the team gets back together. They're all decrepit old men. One of them has become completely impossible to work with. The other one kind of dropped off the face of acting, and then the other one's Ernie Hudson, who's awesome.
Yeah, who's pretty chill.
But then they did the "Are you a god?" gag, which I actually liked. When they in the first one, when Gozer asks if Ray's a god, and he says no, and then they all get shocked. And then this time Gozer asks Ray if he's a god, and then Bill Murray and Ernie Hudson turn at him and give him a look, and then he goes,
yes,
yeah.
Also, did Gozer forget?
I don't know if Gozer has face recognition. Maybe it's face blindness.
Ah, fair.
Or also, if this is the same Gozer, it's been 30 years. You don't remember.
Yeah, but what's Gozer been doing in the interim 35? Just chilling in the nether realm?
Yeah, or locked in a prison of its own fears. I don't know.
Possible.
Maybe. So yeah, they try to cross the streams and like they did in the first one,
Yep.
and Gozer's like, nope,
Fuck you.
fuck that. I learned how this works.
Yep.
And like grabs them, separates them. All
Yep.
the Ghostbusters get the OGs get thrown into the car, and then you're like, oh, like they're. I hope they're not dead because they're old men.
I hope they're not dead.
But then all the kids are like, well, guess what? Now we're the Ghostbusters, and
Yeah.
we're way smarter than you old guys. So then they do their business. And while they're trying to hold the beams to get her, that's when Ghost Grandpa arrives.
Yep.
So we get like a CGI composite of the body of Ivan Reitman
Yep.
and the face of old man Harold Ramis.
Old man Ramus. Because he was on screen for longer than I thought. I thought he would just be a very quick thing, but he was on for a fair bit. I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna talk, and he does not.
No, because I think the idea is that he's not supposed to talk. That
If he knows what's good for him.
he's not there to. He's there to help his granddaughter. I think is the idea. And so, but I mean, I can't say that I'm mad about it. I think it was a nice tribute to him. There was a nice moment with the Ghostbusters where they like said that like, oh, like I should have called you. I'm sorry. Like that was a nice.
Yeah, and it was
like,
when they first notice him, they're all like in a line shooting the proton packs, and they like notice him one by one looking to their left. Like that was done pretty well.
It was done really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I think if I'm correct, like they did kind of vaguely have a falling out at one point, like especially Bill Murray.
You don't say.
And he felt guilty about like not being closer to him when they were alive, when he was alive. And then they kill Gozer again because why not? So it's super easy apparently, even though it's like some monstrous, powerful, evil demon woman.
Barely an inconvenience.
Barely an inconvenience. So then Gozer's dead. The dogs turn back into Paul Rudd.
Boo.
Boo.
Turn back halfway. Go Anthro.
And then Egon has his nice wave goodbye, and everybody's sad. And
Egon, Darth Vader, and the
crocodile?
And the crocodile.
No, it's Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are all waving from the cloud.
yeah.
And Mufasa.
Hey, happy. And then I wrote, this is the first time I watched the post-credit scenes. I didn't watch them the first time. And I didn't know that they were doing their business of Ernie Hudson's like a rich black man now.
Yep.
And then we got the awful scene that made me want to kill myself where they continued the stupid podcast joke involving Ray, where he was like, I love your podcast. He's like, you're my one subscriber.
It
Like,
really found its voice in episode 48. When did we find our voice? You know what? What if we found our voice in
what if
episode
we
48?
kill that little kid?
Okay.
What if we go find Ho Chi Minh and we...
It's not his name.
You don't know.
It's not his name.
What if his name was something similar to that? And you feel like an idiot.
No, he's going to be like an Asian guy from 13 Reasons Why. His name's going to be Ross Butler.
His name is Logan Kim. Logan. He's Asian. He's probably Korean, I assume.
You're Chinese.
You're Chinese. You know what? I'm gonna kill him.
You should stop saying that you're going to kill a celebrity.
I don't care.
Well, celebrity is a strong word
for
but
the fact
an actor.
that IMDb now has a section that has their gender identity listed.
Oh, good.
And-
Is Logan a he/him?
He is a he/him, but apparently it
For
says
now, there's still time, Logan.
Self-verified. Self-verified refers to personal information provided by entertainment industry professionals, meaning like his agent went on there and was like, "Hey, he's a he/him."
I'm going to refuse to verify
What
my
does
pronouns
McKenna
on
Grace
IMDb.
identify as? Oh, it's not on here. Well, get a better agent.
Get a
Now
gender.
I don't know if you identify as.
Get an agent and get a gender. I don't care which one. Just pick it.
Oh, she's grown up and got real ugly. She is not a looker as a grown adult woman. Although adult 2006,
So not that old.
yeah. But older, like then. You know, this movie was probably filmed in 2019, I think is when they filmed it.
Yeah, because it took a while to come out, right?
COVID.
Happens to the best of us.
Or does it?
There was no reason for this movie to be 2 hours long.
Oh, absolutely fucking not.
Like, it didn't get going for like 50 minutes. Like, this could have been an easy hour and a half. Oh yeah, I don't love her face.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Andrew.
Yeah. Bad nose,
Yeah.
I think, is the thing.
Sorry, young girl Sheldon.
Sorry, young girl Sheldon.
Yeah, this could have been a much shorter movie.
Yeah. You could have cut out so much of the middle.
Yeah.
Like, none of the middle mattered.
I think you could have cut out podcast and still been okay.
Probably.
I think it still would have been
but then
a movie.
you wouldn't have all those jokes.
That's true. And what would it be for the career of Logan Kim if not for this?
1989's Kiki's Delivery Service.
I had one more. I had
we've already moved on.
an opinion on
Cut it.
Ghostbusters.
Cut it.
It's very important.
Dump it.
You know what? Dump it. Like, the movie was, I mean, next to Girl Ghostbusters, it was amazing. but like the movie's okay. But like something like a movie like this would have been awesome after Ghostbusters 1 in the 80s. Obviously not everything would be the same, but something like a sort of kids Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because like the kids who loved Ghostbusters and dressed up as them for Halloween now have like in-movie surrogates for them. There's like people their age, as opposed to 35 years later when kids today don't have that much of a connection to Ghostbusters.
Or like don't like movies.
Or don't like movies because they're not on TikTok.
Yeah, and because they don't have attention spans. Like, I don't.
What do you mean it's 2 hours?
I don't know who this movie was for.
Yeah.
Ivan Reitman or Jason Reitman.
Harold Ramis.
To make up for his bad relationship with his father.
I guess so.
Maybe. 1989's Kiki's Delivery Service.
From Sonics.
From Son X.
Sonics.
Like
a note before we go. You're not going to get as much time on this podcast as last time. When you tricked us by recommending an anthology movie where we talked about each of the 6 anthology parts like a whole movie.
For an hour and 40 minutes.
For over an hour. So no more tricks, Sonics.
This... We collectively said outside before we got here earlier.
Yeah,
this is like bottom of Miyazaki movies. It's towards the bottom.
It's below 50th percentile. It's in the lower half of Miyazaki movies.
Yeah,
which is and lower half Miyazaki is better than a lot of people's best.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's still not. It doesn't have the.
Use your words.
No, I'm trying to think of like what the meat of the story isn't there. Like just nothing happens.
Oh, a spoiler for a mid-movie note I made.
You love spoilers today.
I love spoilers, but this is a very.
Are you the spoiler?
I'm the spoiler. We're an hour and 10 minutes into this movie, and this is shaping up to be one of my favorites, a no conflict movie.
Yeah.
I like those. And I'm not even really joking, because I watched every episode of Entourage, a noted no conflict TV series. Sometimes I just like to watch stuff happen and not worry about bad stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's what this was. There was not an antagonist in Kiki's Delivery Service, really.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's just stuff happening.
The antagonist was... I've sort of forgotten how to be a witch.
Yeah. Kiki is the antagonist.
Yeah. Before we start, I got a couple notes.
Note me.
One, this story, as noted by director Hayao Miyazaki, takes place in an alternate 1950s Europe where World War I and World War II never happened.
Oh, so much
the
lamer.
Fictional city of...
Oh my god, I just thought of something so upsetting I can't possibly continue.
Wow.
Okay, YouTube...
Is it Hitler related?
Absolutely.
Of course.
YouTube, here's the test.
Because you're nothing if not unoriginal.
Because we've sworn on this, not in the first 15 seconds, and nothing too bad content-wise. So I'm going to say it, and we'll see how monetized this is.
Okay.
Think how many Jews would be there. And probably I would say
think about how much bigger the world population would be.
If my math is correct, there would probably be an extra 150,000.
D-. Demonetized. A minute.
That's-
Mark it down. 1 hour.
Don't mark it down.
22 minutes.
Don't mark it down. Wait, this hour is 22 minutes? Okay. It's a good show. Shout out to Rick Mercer. Canadian legend.
And nobody else.
And nobody else.
What about Son of a Critch?
No.
That's his show.
I don't. Drew, stop.
It's got Malcolm McDowell.
Does it?
It does.
Good for
I
him.
think he plays the grandfather.
On a Canadian television show?
The fictional city of Kokiro has one side of the shores on the Mediterranean and the other side on the Baltic Sea.
So that would put this... What is this? Romania?
Sure. I mean, it's witches.
Oh, yeah. Witches are like vampires.
Witches are like vampires. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
They fuck.
They're all under the ghost umbrella.
They can be busted. Any single one of them can be busted, Scott. In the original Disney dub... Oh, sorry. I guess just the Disney dub. Phil Hartman voices Gigi, and literally my first note is Gigi Phil Hartman?
My second to last note is... I might have watched the dub if I knew Phil Hartman was the cat.
I watched the dub.
Subs, not dubs.
Also because I own it on Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray is just the dub.
No, it's not. Not a chance in hell.
I know.
there is no way.
I didn't want.
That's not a lie.
I didn't want to have to read something.
I know, reading's hard.
Well, just because I don't know.
Because you're playing hockey at the time.
No, I
Roster.
was actually watching.
Oh,
it.
look at you.
Yeah, but in the Disney dub, Phil Hartman, who voices Gigi, and Kirsten Dunst, who voiced Kiki, were also in the film Small Soldiers together, where they played father and daughter.
Hartman Dunst reunion.
And then the last
reunion in reverse because Small Soldiers was 10 years later.
Yeah. The last trivia I have is a kind of a spoiler for the end, so I will save it for the end.
I'll give you something right now. And you would have listened to this in English. The voice of... at first I thought fat, and then later I learned pregnant. Bakery lady is voiced by Tress MacNeille.
Okay.
Who is the overacting anchor woman in scene 1 of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I somehow watched back-to-back Tress MacNeille movies. Don't know how that happened.
Interesting.
But here we are.
Two and in the same episode. How weird is that? It was like
I
it was
watched
like the Ernie Borgnine one.
It was. I watched them back-to-back.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Tails. So Kiki's a little girl who grows up in a coven, sort of. Not really. Just
Not
like
really.
With a
just a house
with witches.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of, right? Because they're giving her the information.
She lives with her parents.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Where her
witch mom and I'm guessing non-witch dad. I think only girls can be witches.
Yeah, I think so.
Only girls can be bitches.
Yeah,
tell you that.
True.
Except you sometimes.
Only women can get pregnant.
Yep.
So if you can get pregnant, you're a woman.
Yeah. So let's find out if you're a woman.
Never stopped us before from trying.
So Dad pulls into the driveway and he's like, "Hey, so y'all good for that camping trip we have planned this weekend?" And Kiki's like, "Oh, no worries. We can do it when I'm back in a year."
I'm going on walkabout.
I've decided that, So the deal with witches. Here's what's up with witches. When in your 13th year, you go on excursion.
Yep. They send you to Mexico or maybe North America or maybe
or Europe,
UK.
Yeah. To work on your character and get a cool costume. So witches leave home for a year to, I don't know, work on witch stuff. Which the whole premise of this seems very counterproductive because her mom is at home and appears to be an accomplished witch who specializes in chemistry.
Yeah,
she's a potion witch.
She's a sorceress.
So I'm like, okay, so you can stay at home and learn from your mom who is a witch, or you can go to a random new city and train ? Where there are decidedly no witches.
And where everybody treats you as if you were a black person. Because witches are very much the black people of Miyazaki world.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, why would you go somewhere where there's no guaranteed witch
to hone your skills
to learn to be a witch?
Yeah.
Unless it's a thing where you naturally just learn how to be a witch.
I guess.
But that doesn't make any sense. Your mom is probably the most likely person to know all the information you need.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna leave for a full year of my life.
Yep.
And when I come back, maybe I'll know how to be a witch.
Yeah.
I can't tell you yes, I can't tell you no.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll know.
Or maybe I'll be exactly where I started, maybe worse, and then, Mom, maybe you can just show me all this stuff you know, because you seem pretty good at this. But yeah, interesting system.
It's weird.
These witches have in place.
It's weird.
So she gets real jazzed about the full moon.
The full, yeah, because
month.
it's something like that's
She got her menses.
The height of her abilities or something, or
yeah. So I'm gonna go tonight. I have.
It's the red tide.
Yeah, I have spontaneously decided to leave for a year right now with almost zero planning. So good job, Kiki. So she leaves. She runs into another witch in the sky who is better at witching than her, and kind of tells her she sucks.
Yep. You stupid bitch.
And then did she crash?
She loses control of it because she's trying to turn the radio on.
Oh yeah.
She took her dad's radio to listen to music, and she was trying to get the cat to turn it on, and she lost control. Or was there a plane involved?
Maybe there wasn't play, because at one point I do make a note of early Miyazaki aviation autism.
Yeah, early.
Well, earlier than the
and
Wind
also,
Rises.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were saying that all the early ones have aviation autism, and I was like, early? It's like across the board.
It's definitely a lot.
I wrote. Well, the only note that I have left is that I feel like they have a very loose definition of witch.
Oh.
Because, like, shouldn't she be able to do things?
Get me
like
started.
Witches can, like, brew potions or, like, create things out of nothing, or control people, or disappear into nothing, or, like, I don't think that being shitty at flying and talking to a cat
the beginning
is really...
and end of her witch powers are riding a broom not very well.
And talking to a cat.
I guess talking to the cat. Because at a point she stops. But did she stop understanding the cat, or did the cat have a problem?
Would you like to hear the last piece of trivia that I wrote?
I would love to hear the last piece
Towards the end of the film, Gigi doesn't speak, in parentheses, in human words at least, to Kiki anymore, because they grew up. Not because she lost the power. In the original book, it is explained that a witch girl and a black cat are raised together from infancy. But that's why they can talk to each other.
Okay.
Notice that Kiki's mom never talks with Gigi directly. They are able to talk to each other because of their chosen relationship rather than magic itself. A cat being able to live so long could be magic, though. Miyazaki made Gigi not be able
13.
to...
13. All my cats have lived past 13. Stupid.
Not every cat does, though.
The good one, if you treat them right.
If you kiss them enough.
If you kiss them enough. You gotta give them... Guys, you gotta give your cats enough kisses.
Gotta kiss them. Miyazaki made Gigi not
all of my cats live past 13. But well, I guess I'm already assuming that Seb will live forever. So, including Seb, 3 of my last 4.
There you go. Miyazaki made Gigi not be able to talk to Kiki even after she regained her power, to show that Kiki was grown and doesn't need her other self anymore.
But then she did talk to him at the end.
That's what this says. This was the note.
Well, who am I to argue with the note?
I don't know. The guy who's doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And he can argue with whoever he wants, even if he's wrong.
Yeah.
So this used to be a much more this side of the spectrum podcast.
Yeah. Now we're center left.
Now we're center left.
Yeah.
Now we're level 3 vegans. I won't eat anything that casts a shadow.
We're freegans. We only eat vegan garbage.
That's something for sure.
It actually is.
I know.
So nothing happens for long. So she winds up in town. Immediately causes mass casualties when she arrives in town. Kills everyone.
She's a bad witch.
She's a bad witch.
Doesn't actually have any power.
Ends up at a bakery run by a pregnant woman who I at first thought was just fat. Couldn't tell.
Yeah. It's so hard to tell.
I know. That's why you have to ask. That's why you should ask every fat woman you run across
I don't think
if they're
that's true.
pregnant. No, don't
I
do that.
That's a good idea.
Oh, maybe don't take that advice. But take all my other advice. I'm batting about 992 advice wise.
Yeah.
I'm in the advice hall of fame. Yeah, so and she runs a bakery, and she lets her stay in the room above the bakery. And she's like, "Hey, you can fly when you don't totally suck.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do deliveries." And so she does.
Well, at first it's, why don't you deliver for me? And then it goes, all right, why don't you just deliver for everybody? I'm getting sick of this.
Yeah, go franchise.
Yeah, other people need help. Go help them. You can live here, that's fine, but just go.
Try to leave me alone.
Yeah, I'm pregnant. I need some space.
Yeah. So, and then it's just it's that for a while. Again, zero conflict.
Yeah.
Just stuff happening. She delivers like a cake for an old lady, or a pie for an old lady for her granddaughter's birthday. Yeah. And then the granddaughter's a bitch who says she doesn't like the pies.
Yep.
And
she hates witches and wishes they were all dead. And then Kiki kills her.
Did she? I don't know if that happens. I'm not sure. So yeah, and then basically the only thing you could call conflict or action is right at the end of the movie, the Hindenburg happens.
Yep.
Which not a thing I was I was ready for. And
did you notice that it's the exact words are stated?
Do they say "Oh, the humanity"?
They said "Oh, the humanity."
Oh, they did. Yeah. So they're doing a Hindenburg.
Well, because World War I didn't happen, so they didn't have to fly the Hindenburg across the Atlantic, even though that's not the reason why it did. But it's an alternate universe, so that's why.
Well, I can't argue with your logic. And
instead of flying it from New Jersey, they were flying it to Bucharest.
I am sad that we don't have rigid airships. I think they're very cool, and I would like to travel via them.
Yeah.
And not other things.
Not other things.
Yeah. But so she and in this time she's, for whatever kind of reason, gotten worse at flying. Mm-hmm.
Even though she's literally doing it all the time.
Again, her one and only witch power, which she has left home for a year to hone, ostensibly.
Yep.
But yeah, she like forgets how to fly because she's at the end of the day, she's a dumb girl. and but they're like, "Hey, Kiki, the Hindenburg is happening," and so she kind of gets her shit back together and flies and prevents 2 casualties of the 1,200 that occurred.
I'm gonna go save 3 people.
I do like. I respect a movie that goes climax end.
Yeah.
There is no falling action. There's no denouement. There's like big thing, credits.
End the movie.
Yeah. They end with like her writing home to her parents and saying, "Doing okay. Miss you and see you in a while. So I love Kiki.
See you when I see you."
Yeah. So yeah, as I'm not breaking any news here, but as with literally all Miyazaki films, the art is beautiful.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
even by 1989 standards.
Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, like as far as Miyazaki films go, like not a ton to sink your teeth into. Nope. She should have had more witch powers.
She should have been a witch, period.
She should have been a witch.
Being able to fly a broom doesn't make you a witch.
Yeah.
It's a part of being a witch, but it's not the only thing about being a witch. You should have been able to, I don't know, turn somebody into a newt.
Yeah. Yeah, turn someone into a newt, turn someone into a, I don't know, off the top of my head, hot anthro cat. Make them your hot anthro cat.
There's enough of those.
Make them your hot anthro cat familiar.
There's enough of those. Just watch The Cat Returns.
That's a good one. The best non-Miyazaki Ghibli.
Correct.
Followed by Princess Kaguya. And that's all the good ones.
Everything else is garbage.
Unless you want to cry and cry to Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah. That is true.
But we should probably make our way to Force of Execution 2013 from Chairman Meow, our second 2010s Steven Seagal movie.
Chairman Meow.
Oh, overall, not...
You?
Uh-oh.
Son of a bitch. I don't know. Maybe it's not just you, but it feels like a lot of people don't know what movies to pick, so they just go to Netflix or Prime Video and just go like, dick, 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 dick. Oh, this one looks stupid, and then they make us pick it.
Our second goatee-era Seagal movie.
My first note
Did Chairman Meow pick the other one?
I think he did.
Interesting. Well, you have a type. I respect that.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
That's all I respect.
There are more interesting bad movies from shitty actors to pick. Like, John Travolta has done so many awful straight-to-DVD movies in the last, 4 years that nobody's seen.
Yeah.
And I would love to have watched one of those instead of this.
I mean, The Fanatic is hilarious.
That's the one exception to being a bad movie.
It's true.
Can't talk, gotta poop. I love how Seagal
Oh, please have the same first note as me.
constantly plays a super powerful, rich, mysterious, evil figure.
Yeah.
But then is also the good guy by the end of the movie.
Yeah, because that was the same thing
Every time.
in the
other one.
China Salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always like you do not fuck with him.
Because he wants to be a badass.
He will have you fucking killed.
Yeah, he wants to be a gangster.
But also, I'm the
Also,
good
he's
guy.
the good guy. Yeah.
I'm the savior.
Yeah.
Like, he has to play that in every movie, except for when he's playing a sniper who doesn't get up from a chair.
Correct. Yeah, he has to have it both ways.
He has to have it both ways.
Greedy.
He has,
Would you describe Steven Seagal as greedy?
You
Both because of this and because of how much he eats.
yes.
Yes and yes?
Yes and yes. I have a friend who worked on set with a movie he filmed in Vancouver.
Brag.
Fine, I'll rephrase that. I have a friend who I went to high school with that I haven't talked in probably 10 years, who was...
I just meant you were bragging about having a friend.
Oh, yeah. Right. I would love to have less friends. In fact, I'm feeling like I want to remove one right now.
I see.
From living.
Who?
So he worked on set with him, and he had 20-man entourage. He needs it. He has bodyguards.
Sure.
He has...
Why does he need bodyguards if he's a master of Aikido?
He doesn't want to kill people.
Oh.
If he kills somebody, he goes to jail. If his bodyguard kills somebody, they go to jail. He doesn't.
Are his hands... See these hands? Registered sex offenders.
That's where I was hoping you were going. That is where... These dick beaters right here. You see these dick beaters? Registered sex offenders. But yeah, his entourage is 20 fucking people, bodyguards, personal assistants, drivers, whatever. And I think I said this before, the last time, he has guys who look after his chihuahuas on set.
Of course.
And then there's one of the actors in this movie is, the Mexican cholo looking guy that's in every Los Angeles cop movie. Or...
Luis Guzman?
No. His name is Noel Guglielmi. He's in this one. He's the bald guy, goatee.
Yep.
You've seen him in he's in everything.
Yeah.
He explained that his frustration on set about Steven Seagal in a recent interview, Seagal
sounds like an absolute piece of shit.
No matter how many times I told him my name, he kept calling me Hector.
Nice.
He is the Donald Trump of actors.
My guy.
His name is Noel. What's that, Hector? What do you want, Hector? I love Mexican racism.
Yeah, he seems like an awful hang.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. He sucks. My first note was, and I didn't write it, but I did note in my head, he's always the super badass gangster bad guy, but also good guy.
Evil killer, but also by the end, he's going to be the one that saves everybody.
Yeah, but also on the gangster tip, he is straight up talking like a black guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's doing full AAVE.
Well, he's done 9 movies with DMX, and there you go.
Because he used to talk like an Asian guy.
Yes.
Did he make the switch with the Glimmer Man?
Yeah, maybe.
Did Keenan Ivory do this to him?
Maybe.
He made him make the switch?
Maybe.
Yeah. But I do remember saying, I love how Steven Seagal has seamlessly transitioned from talking like a Chinese guy to talking like a black guy, and no one has ever gotten mad at him for either.
But how are you gonna get mad at him? He's going to fucking choppy your pee-pee
From his chair.
from his chair. I love how they never actually show him doing any of the
Nothing.
fighting sequences.
Nothing.
That even though he knows how to do them, it's always a stunt double.
Yeah.
And it's framed from behind.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can't see his face. Maybe you see him do like one or two of his quick like hand flips.
Yeah.
And that's it, and then the rest of it is from behind with somebody else doing.
He
all
has the
stunts.
easiest job in show business.
And
he's in an action movie where someone else does literally all the action.
what do you think his net worth is?
$159. I think he's bad with his money.
It's possible. Steven Seagal net worth. Ooh, that can't be true.
Too high, too low.
Too low.
I believe he's done some dumb shit with money.
Net worth $16 million.
I believe it. Yeah. And if he had invested properly and not been a big dumb, it could be 100.
maybe.
It could be 100 million.
That's
easy.
probably true.
Yeah. But I can easily see him being in the low millions.
The thing is, yeah,
He still gets to go to North Korea though. Pretty cool.
that is pretty sick. I mean, yes, he's been in a lot of movies since like the late 80s or early 90s.
Yeah.
Late 80s.
When he was 35.
But like he's honestly genuinely never been in a big movie.
He hasn't been in massive hits, no.
Like I don't think he's ever been in a single cuz every movie he's in he's mostly the star.
Yeah.
And he's not it's not like he's in tons of other Hollywood movies.
No.
Like his biggest one is I guess Under Siege.
I was gonna say Under Siege is probably his
Above
biggest.
the Law.
Yeah.
Or his two big ones. But as far as actual movies with other actors and stuff, what the fuck is he?
I assume they wanted him for the Expendables, and he said no because he's too cool for school, or he got fired.
Stallone. I think the producer, I think I read it somewhere, maybe I can look it up, that the producers wanted him.
Yeah, he's absolutely the kind of person to be in the Expendables.
Let me see if I can find it. But I think it was something somebody wanted him in the movie, whether it was the production company or the producer or something, and then Sly was I'm not fucking working with him. I've met him before. I've been around him.
He sucks.
I am not fucking interested in having him on my set.
This guy right here sucks. But he said something in Korean. I believe it translated to "this guy. This is not my kind of guy."
Was asked to play a cameo in Sylvester Stallone's The Expendables by Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, okay.
But turned it down because he had a fallout relationship with the producer.
Oh.
However, Seagal joined another big ensemble film of Machete in 2010. So I guess Machete is the biggest movie he's ever been in.
He's a machete man.
I believe it's pronounced Machete.
Machete.
You know what's really funny? I wish we could end the podcast
Carrot Top.
right now. I like Carrot Top. He's actually not too bad.
He's jacked.
Full circle to the beginning of this fucking episode.
Turn it off after this.
He was in one episode as himself of Roseanne.
Oh,
in
shit.
1996.
Oh, that's late Roseanne too. Yeah. Oh, that might be lottery year.
Maybe.
They might have bought Steven Seagal.
There you go.
As their in-home Aikido trainer.
He's also plays himself in one of my favorite comedy movies, My Giant.
Nice.
But yeah, if you go through
starring Billy Crystal and some monster.
George A. Mirzan, come on.
Monster. George A. Monster.
If you go through his entire filmography, every single movie he's ever been in that's not Machete, he's the
star
guy.
Yeah.
So
his first movie, he was the star.
So that makes more sense as to why his net worth is so low.
Yeah.
Because it's not like those straight to DVD Steven Seagal movies make him tons of money.
No.
He probably...
Except Sniper Special Ops. That was
made him $1 billion.
Yeah.
But if you look at all of them...
And he wasted it all on kimonos.
He's putting out a few every year.
Yeah.
So he's probably getting paid somewhat decently.
Yeah.
And then he can just like do appearances, go to North Korea, do whatever. But like 2016 alone, he put out 6, 7, 8.
Oh my God.
9. He put out 9 movies in 2016.
Prolific.
He's the star in all of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them appear to be movies where he has guns or is a sniper.
Was that like one movie every 1 in the 3rd months?
Yeah, probably some of them are filmed at the same time.
Probably 1.33 recurring, of course, months.
Of course. He also had a TV show
Where he pretended to be a policeman.
where he pretended to be but he didn't play himself.
Oh.
He played a character named Elijah Kane.
What the fuck?
Who was an ex-special forces operative and martial arts expert is part of an undercover police team that carry out an often brutal style of law enforcement on the streets.
Steven Seagal has basically been LARPing his whole life.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna pretend to be a karate man. And like, he's sort of I feel like he's stealing valor. Like, I feel like he thinks he is an ex-special ops guy.
Yeah.
Because he's an ex-special ops guy in every single fucking movie. Or an active special ops guy in every movie.
Did you know?
But also a gangster.
Yeah. Did you know that there's an Above the Law 2 coming up next year?
Love it. Maybe he'll stand up.
1988.
Maybe as a celebration, he'll stand up. The 35th anniversary
I don't think so.
of Above the Law.
I don't think so.
I did make a note that you can tell this was made before 2015 because he stands up sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like 2015 is the cutoff.
Did you know?
To chair-only acting.
Did you know that he speaks Japanese fluently, apparently?
Sure he
And he
does.
also apparently broke Sean Connery's wrist while teaching him martial arts during the filming of Never Say Never Again, 1983.
Ooh. But that was old Sean Connery.
Yeah, no.
That was comeback Sean Connery.
1983?
Yeah.
He was old, but not like...
That was comeback James Bond.
Yeah,
Sean
but not
Connery.
like so old that he would just...
He was old for Bond. But I bet it's one of those things where even like comeback James Bond Sean Connery was like, I don't know, 43, and like Daniel Craig's last one he was 64. It's just people look better now.
Uh-huh.
You've
No, I was just getting
lost
annoyed
you.
by you talking so much.
Oh,
No, I'm
sorry.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, so he's like a big time crime boss who has like a guy doing assassins for him,
Yeah.
and assassination.
A guy doing
Whatever.
assassins.
An assassination doing assassins for him.
Yep.
Who his last job didn't go so well.
And okay, when he's describing it's like even the character that Seagal is playing is making shit up about himself. Because there's one line that was so funny to me. He's like, "Oh, they must have sent about 4 or 5 hit teams after me." I'm like, you're just making it up. You're just lying. Even your character's a liar.
Even your character is stealing valor.
It's so funny.
It's stupid, but it's very funny.
Yeah.
Doesn't go so well. Guy comes back and is apologetic. This is like the non Steven Seagal main actor of the movie, who is a guy that no one's ever heard of except for in the lower level straight to DVD action karate movies.
Yeah.
His name Ben Forster.
Ben Foster.
It's not Ben Foster, but it's close. But it's like
Robert Forster.
it's not Robert Forster.
R.I.P.
Oh, shut up.
Hey.
I think his name's like Ben Forster.
Might be. Yeah.
So
do not care enough to look it up.
he apologizes. He says, "I'm sorry.
Forgiven the surprise.
This happened to me, and I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And he goes, "That's okay. I forgive you. P.S. I'm crippling your fucking hand."
Yeah.
His name is Bren Foster.
Ah.
Bren. Oh, he's Australian. Well, look at him.
Breen Foster.
Bren Foster.
I'm Guy.
Gee. Boy, show me a cock.
So I found the beginning or the early-ish jail scene very confusing. So
He got double-crossed.
they send, but sort of double-crossed, but like sort of the hitman just got lied to and bought it.
Yeah.
Because like a hitman infiltrates jail.
Yeah.
To kill a guy that has wronged Seagal?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ving Rhames, who is the contact in jail,
Yeah.
then says, And like as the guy is about to kill the guy, he doesn't even need Ving's confirmation. But Ving's like, "Oh no, actually it's that guy. Kill him."
Yeah.
And he does.
Like
an asshole.
There he goes. JK wasn't him.
Yeah. Like, it was really weird. I it was so weird I didn't really get what was going on. I'm like, why? Like, you clearly seem to know who to kill, and then Ving gave the word, and...
Yeah, it was very strange.
Yeah.
But also it could have been all black guys look the same, so... maybe like, oh, I thought it was that guy. No, dude, what are you, racist? It's that guy.
It was a meta commentary on racism.
It is, yeah.
That makes sense.
I wrote, man, Ving hasn't really aged a day.
Ving looks
like
great.
he's chunkier,
Yeah,
because he's older, but like face wise, he looks the same.
Is he over 70? Can we add him to the over 70 hotties list?
I don't know, he might be. Over 70?
Probably not. 60s for sure.
I like that my
32.
phone auto-corrected to...
Bing Rames. Yeah. You are binging this, yes?
I'm Wikipediaing it, but whatever.
You should have binged it.
He is 63. He's out. He's out.
7 years.
He's out.
He'll be hot.
I don't like it.
Oh, and also, did you notice? Because
his name's not Ving Rhames.
I can see his
It's
name not
Irving Rhames. Irving Ramses Rhames.
That's cool, and I like Ving as short for Irving because everyone else just goes Irv. Boring.
Yeah, that's because he's not Jewish. I mean, he might be Jewish, actually.
Oh, is he a Sammy Davis Jr. type?
Apparently, he was named after Irving R. Levine, an NBC journalist.
I think I know if Mr. Levine is.
He might be. Okay. Continue.
So, there was one shot in the initial prison scene of this, like, a guy, like, chained down with, like, high-risk inmate. Like on his coveralls or whatever, and then it never comes back. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Nothing.
Because I didn't know it at the time.
Literally nothing.
Halfway into my notes, I'm like, 45 minutes later, what was the point of that high-risk inmate at the beginning? Turns out, nothing. They just thought it looked cool. Yep. But that guy was not a character.
Nope. Nothing. Just throw it in there.
That was fun. We got like an early Seagal quote-unquote action sequence where he does not do one single move.
Nope.
Then, like, had to be... I think right after... the prison scene, when we're back to Seagal places, they replay the important parts of the prison scene. I love replaying what we literally just watched. So thank you for hammering that home. This is very true, Scott. I agree with you several weeks ago when you wrote this down. Every time Seagal and Ving sit down together, it's like they're having a black guy off. Yeah. And Seagal's winning.
Kinda. Yeah.
Seagal's going horde.
Definitely horde.
One part I wrote, I could not describe this plot for $1 million.
Yep.
Because there are so many like pointless double crosses.
Oh yeah, it was just a series of double crosses.
I had no idea who to root for because I'm like, I know I'm supposed to root for Seagal because he's the star. No, but he's also clearly a bad guy.
You're supposed to root for my hands don't work. That's what you're supposed to root for.
Yeah. So there's the younger karate man, Bren Foster gets his hands wrecked
after he blew the assassination in the prison. Then Seagal has his hands crippled forever so that he can never do assassinating.
No more assassinating.
No more assassinating. I wrote just like a general note. Do you think that the other actors who are in these movies who like legit have fighting backgrounds look at Seagal as an idol or as like a fat joke?
I think currently fat joke. I think up to sometime in the 90s idol.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not debating earlier. I'm saying like now.
Like, I think you have to be a real weird martial arts loser to still think Steven Seagal is cool. Okay. I think he should have by now lost literally all goodwill.
Well, you need to talk to Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan still thinks he's a legit badass.
That's strange because all of the rest of Joe Rogan's takes are always so accurate.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess everyone has a miss now and then.
Could you be like... Because there's bound to be guys who have 20 years of like legit backgrounds in fighting, and then they're like, you know what, maybe I'll try movies, like maybe I'll just do like some action movies, whatever, and they're like, hey, do you want to be in this Steven Seagal movie? Do you think that they look at it as like, oh, a Steven Seagal movie, like that's a big opportunity, and then they get there and they're like, I mean, this is pretty cool? Or do you think they go, yeah, I'll be in the movie, and then they get there and they're like, look at this fat piece of shit?
Will I be the one fighting Steven Seagal in a chair?
Will I be fighting his stunt double while he sits in a chair? I don't know. It's just that. Yeah, there was during the prison escape, he did a real sick like run up the wall to avoid a guy that was running at him spot.
Yes,
that was sort of like push off splits, guy runs under his legs, he drops down and then immediately thrust kicks the guy or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was really cool.
It was good, yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, this guy, like, the guy's clearly good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, whoever this fucking Australian guy is, he's good.
He's got skills. Yeah, well, someone in the movie had
Well, at least one person's good.
Yeah. Oh, so Wrecked Hands Man meets up with Danny Trejo, because why not?
Why not?
Who
Danny Trejo-
cures his hands with scorpion magic? Not what I was expecting.
I wrote all caps, exclamation mark, scorpion magic!
Yep. I also wrote all caps, scorpion
I
magic.
like that something that has poison in it is also capable of being a magic healing.
Look, if you get two very rare, very poisonous scorpions, have them sting you back to back, the venoms interact in a way along with your blood that cures your broken hands, a thing that's not even related to your blood.
Correct.
Right?
Well, the blood's in your hand.
Yep.
The bones are in your hand.
True.
It's all
there's
in
blood in your bones.
It's all in there.
And
there was a scene where Ving Rhames, after getting out of prison, goes to a strip club, and he's getting a lap dance from a girl, and he goes, "Did I fuck you last week?" And she just nods, and he goes, "Stop wasting my dick time," and shoves her off. And I was like, yeah, fucking Ving gets it.
That is a cool guy.
Ving is a very cool guy. We should go to the Paramount sometime.
Sure. If Ving's there.
Yeah. Or cheetahs, although it's not called cheetahs anymore. It's called something else.
Do they not have actual cheetahs anymore?
No more cheetahs. Sorry. Then after Danger heals him with scorpion magic, then like the bad guys show up.
Yeah.
And
but there's also like a few sets of bad guys.
Well, here's what I wrote.
Yeah.
Oh no! Mexicans out back, blacks in the front, bad times.
Exactly. And at one point, I think in the strip club, because the Mexicans are like, we're gunning for you, Seagal.
Yeah.
And Seagal is kind of having like a sit down at the strip club with one of the head-ish Mexican guys. I was sad that he didn't have a Mexican guy off with the Mexican guy.
Could you imagine?
It'd be pretty cool. And he's like, we worked this all out, and maybe I'll go back to Thailand where I learned all my original bad habits. I'm like, like what?
Like, explain.
That is not a sentence you leave dangling.
I would like to know what you did in Thailand.
What were your original bad habits in Thailand,
Was it the
Steve?
same thing as Elephant?
Was the same thing as another Steve who's going to come up later who might live in Thailand?
Maybe.
So there's that, and then basically it's an all-out assault on the Seagal compound. He's prepared for it. He thankfully changes into his sniper special ops costume.
I literally wrote, enter elite military commando Steven Seagal.
He's such a loser.
Also, as they were entering the facility, one of the bodyguards guarding the gate outside was Frank Mir, who was immediately shot in the head.
Nice.
Didn't even get to do anything.
In real life?
In real life, Frank
Mir was murdered?
is murdered in the in a scene in force of execution.
I like that all recent-ish Steven Seagal movies sound like bad Chinese to English translations. Like force of execution, maximum conviction, general commander.
Well,
neither general nor commander. He's a general.
He's a half and half. He's half general, half commander.
Oh, I thought he was like a non-specific commander.
No,
he's a general. Is a general commander.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sort of what you're saying earlier about like actual talented fighters. Like selling for Seagal must be really humiliating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 100% that Mad TV skit.
Yeah,
with Will
it's
Sasso.
literally
that's
that.
100% what it is.
Yeah.
Like, barely move, you run into him, putting his backhand out, and you have to do like a double backflip.
Yeah, the only
out
thing
a window into like an exploding
flames.
something. Yeah, like
The only thing wrong with that skit was Will Sasso wasn't fat enough.
Correct. Yeah.
We in the last fight scene there was a I think Bryn.
Yeah.
I think Bryn
after he gets his hands back,
got someone in a flying triangle.
Yes, he did,
and then got powerbombed through a table. That was cool.
That was pretty sick.
I like that very much.
Actually, when he gets back involved and he's got full use of his hands, there's actually a lot of really sick choreography in that. Because I think there was another wrestling move done in that.
I think there was spoiler. I'm full of spoilers today.
Yeah.
Next week,
I'm aware.
High and low. Sick wrestling move nearish the end.
Nice. I haven't watched it yet.
Keep an eye out.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll get there. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was definitely like a very sick.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the fight scene, like guy goes for something, counter, flip him over.
Figure 4 leg lock.
Stalling power slam. No, maybe there was like a. Did he do a go to sleep? Maybe something
or something
like
it.
that.
Maybe something into a knee. Some kind of throw into a knee.
Yeah, like there was something really cool like that, and I was like, man, like this guy's good. You know what? I'm gonna look up another Bryn Foster movie.
Big Bryn fan. They kill all the Mexicans.
Well, it's easy target.
They kill the Mexicans. They kill the black guys, except Ving.
Because you can't.
The final showdown with Ving is so fucking lame.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So fucking lame. It's Seagal and Bryn versus Ving.
Yeah.
The climax of the movie is Seagal throwing something shiny and distracting Ving and shooting him. And Ving gets shot, what appears to be in the head, falls out the door, and then when they go to look, he's done a Michael Myers and is gone. Because, I don't know, they're setting up Force of Execution too.
Why not?
And that's the last note I had, because who cares?
The only other Bren Foster movie I've seen is 2012's Steven Seagal vehicle, co-starring one Steve Austin. Maximum Conviction.
Again, a bad Chinese to English
but
translation.
He's also in Deep Blue Sea 3. And then
I didn't know there was a 2.
He was in
Deep Blue Sea 3?
Yep. He was one of the lead actors in the TNT series The Last Ship.
Okay.
He is a black belt in all of these. Taekwondo, Hapkido, Hwarangdo, and BJJ.
Dude can fight.
He's a BJJ black belt. Like
that's legit.
That's legit.
The rest, questionable.
He was in Days of Our Lives. He was in Melissa and Joey.
Ooh.
He was...
There's not a bad Halloween Cat TF episode of Melissa and Joey.
Sick.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what his character's name was on TNT's post-apocalyptic drama series The Last Ship?
Steve.
CPO Wolfman Taylor. I don't think he's Wolf, though.
Probably not. CPO Wolf Dick Hard.
CPO Wolf Dick Hard.
Child pornography official.
High risk to reoffend. Do you know that the guy who directed this movie, Keone Waxman,
cool name,
has directed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight to DVD Steven Seagal movies since 2009.
They love working together.
He's also directed a Steve Austin movie, a 1998 Dolph Lundgren movie, and then some like weird romantic movies in the 80s.
Work is work.
It's fucking bizarre.
He wanted to have karate in those romance movies, but they wouldn't let him.
Well, how did we know that he didn't? There's also a 2019 movie starring Michael Jai White, Luke Goss, Randy Couture.
It's a fun group of guys.
It's on Netflix. We can watch it. It's called The Hard Way.
Nice. This is a pro Michael Jai White podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
We love.
Maybe legit from what I've heard.
We love MJW.
From what I've heard, maybe legitimately the toughest guy. Like,
yeah.
His abilities apparently are like
he's sick.
Next to no, like there's nobody that can even touch him.
I would call him the Herschel Walker of fighting.
I agree that he's never paid for an abortion, except for he has paid for an abortion. But like legitimately sounds like he's the toughest fucking guy that's like
ever lived.
Maybe ever lived.
Yeah.
Like that if anybody was to get into a fight with him, they would stand
he will absolutely
chance.
Ruin you.
He would kill Ming.
Yeah.
Like his hand speed and his like knowledge of tactics and movement and stuff is like unparalleled. Like no one will ever be able to do what he's done.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because he's kind of a nobody.
It's weird that he isn't bigger.
Yeah, like he's been in stuff.
Yeah.
Like he was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he played Batman?
He played Batman.
Yeah.
And also the Joker. It was a dual role for him.
Brave.
And like Black Dynamite, but like that's not a big movie.
Yeah, and it's a comedy.
Right?
Yeah.
But like it's crazy that he's not more well known when you've got like people, I don't know, like Vin Diesel. Like what does Vin Diesel fucking bring to the table?
It's not even his real name.
It's not even his real name. It's not even his real hair.
It's not even a real man.
Not even alive.
He can have children.
That is true.
Yep.
Would you like to talk about 1988's Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-O-Rama?
Brought to us by Franklin Bobbert Lashley. I'd be happy to.
Also not the original title of the movie.
Oh.
It was originally supposed to be called The Imp, and they thought it was stupid sounding.
So they really went the other way with the title.
And apparently every single person involved in the production hated the name of the movie.
Thought it was a very bad idea.
Hated the name of the new name, except for the writer. Or producer. Writer-producer.
And he's like,
who
this
was like,
forever.
no, it's fun, let's do it.
Yeah.
I should have wrote down what they wanted to call it. Because they wanted to call it, Bitchin' Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-O-Rama, and the production company wouldn't let them use Bitchin'. So it would have actually been a longer title.
Have you considered the imp? Because there is an imp. It's accurate.
It's there.
Yeah.
And he talks like a black guy. He's a black guy. He's a black imp.
I would now if I didn't make this note, that is a failing on my part.
Are you giving more spoilers for later on?
No, but I'm just a note I should have made about this after having watched Force of Execution, which is the imp and Steven Seagal need to have a black guy off.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't know who wins that one. Ving Rhames loses to both.
Correct.
And Ving Rhames, and don't get me wrong, Ving Rhames is a black guy.
A dark-skinned black guy.
But Seagal and imp are, 99th percentile black guy.
Oh, a real chode.
99th percentile height, 99th percentile weight.
Wow.
A real chode.
Real chode. The one little trivia note I have for this one is that the script was written in 10 days.
Nice.
And there was only one draft. And shit.
And they filmed it.
No shit.
No time for rewrites.
As if I was going to be surprised by the fact that they didn't spend time on the script.
Why is my first note Fat Don Juan! Exclamation mark.
Good day.
Huh.
My first note is, though that tits / body structure combo is so sad. Like she has negative A cups. Are you a boy? Is my first note. Because they get naked and go to like this. It's sorority babes on a campus.
Yeah.
They're these guys that are nerdy.
Are they pledging buy Delt?
They're pledging buy Delt. They are like nerdy loser fags, and
You listen on YouTube?
They creep on the girls. They follow them back to their sorority. They creep on them through a window, which is like the weird, like, because one of them's drunk, I think.
Yeah,
right? And
one guy's like the loseriest one.
Yeah.
Has had half a beer
and is
wasted.
Shit-faced.
Yeah.
So they just like creep on the girls showering, which I love a sorority where the shower is like a communal shower.
Yeah.
With like multiple like heads, but has a window directly
facing
to the front lawn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't build them like they used to.
Like they used to.
Yeah, one of my first notes is, man, it was awesome to just look at unsuspecting naked women in the 80s.
Porky's really did a good job.
Porky's.
But the one of the two girls has like a 13-year-old boy's body with like concave tits and no ass.
Yeah.
But like a really pretty face. So it's like,
it is
man, your body sucks.
Yeah, she got a rough deal.
Yeah.
Neck down.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
It's too bad. Such a waste.
So
there were dog fucking accusations almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I wrote his fat friend sure was doing a good solid job of being a cock blocking jerk.
Yep.
Because he and the one girl were like into each other and obviously wanted to like hook up.
Yeah.
And he was just doing everything he fucking could to get in the way of that. Like it just prevent
really
prevent them from even having fun with one another.
Yeah, and just in case anyone's wondering, it's 1988, so they say retard a whole bunch.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, so just a heads up on that.
They
and
do.
Also we see Bush pretty early. I think in the shower.
Yeah.
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 Because even before I wrote the awesome to look at unsuspecting women line, I wrote Bush exclamation mark.
Yeah.
So it must have been fairly early.
Full frontal bush.
Yeah.
And concave tits. So they are, the two girls are pledging for the sorority.
Yeah.
And then there's 3 other girls who are in the sorority, and they're the ones that are sort of like giving them all of the pledging, like all the things they need to do. They catch the boys sneaking into the sorority to try and, I guess, rape those 2 girls.
That's the implication.
Like, why else would you? Oh, well, because they're like, we can't see enough from the window.
We need a closer
Let's
look.
break in to the second. No, I guess they go on the ground level.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, they're going in there to like, I guess, or like. Maybe the girls will see them and be like, hey, why don't we turn this into a 5-way? And then, like, I guess that's their mindset because they're dumb guys in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they get caught by the actual sorority sisters. Yeah. And they're like, all right, here's your, like, big thing you have to do to pledge. You guys have to go to this bowling alley. Did they go to the are they told to go to the bowling alley or are they told to go to the mall? Because the bowling alley is at the mall. And then they just end up at the bowling alley? I don't remember.
Because what did they have to... I think they had to steal a bowling trophy.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So go to the bowling alley, steal a bowling trophy, and guess what, guys? You're going with them. And they're like, oh, why do we have to go? I'm like, you don't have to, right? You're not pledging for the sorority.
That's the thing. I'm like... Why are you staying and doing what they say? They're women.
But also, they're dumb guys, I guess.
Yeah, that I didn't get. I'm like, it's not like they have you tied up or have something on you. I guess, they could tell everyone on campus that you're a rapist, but that was actually kind of cool in the 80s.
Yeah, and also every guy who goes to university or college is a rapist.
Yeah.
It's known fact.
So, like, they have nothing on. Like, guys, go home.
Yeah. Yeah, just leave.
Just go home.
Or just say, yeah, we'll go with them, and then don't go with them.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't have a gun on you.
No. So they end up going to the bowling alley that's in the mall, and I wrote
they could have that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And so as they're like,
malls used to be fucking sick.
Malls did used to be fucking sick.
I miss malls.
I miss malls too. I miss Command HQ.
Yes,
that was a pretty sick place, or whatever that one at Metrotown was called.
Palladium.
Yeah.
And there was a sick arcade in Richmond Center.
Never been. Too many Asians.
There weren't...
Sorry, too many Haitians. That's what I meant to say.
There weren't not many of them.
So they get there and they're trying to they're like goofing around and they're trying to whatever. The sorority girls sneak in as well.
Yeah.
Because it turns out one of the girls' dads owns the mall. Yeah. And then they just go into the security room and watch the security footage.
They like to watch.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So as they're in there, they hear a noise. The one guy goes to investigate. And I wrote, oh, someone else is randomly there at the exact same time. This must be an 80s B horror movie.
Yep.
So there's some punk rocky girl who's trying to rob the Bowl-O-Rama, and she gets caught and then just sort of decides to just hang out with them.
We're friends now. Even though someone called her a punk dyke.
Yes. Oh, you caught me committing a crime? I guess I'm just gonna hang out with you guys.
Yeah. We're all in this together.
Yeah. So they they got the trophy, and then they're kind of dicking around and like playing practical jokes.
Yeah.
The two of them
Practicing kissing on each other.
Especially each other's penises.
Sure.
The ladies
What
are
better
gone.
way to learn?
The ladies are gone at this point, so they're just kissing each other's penises. So then they end up dropping the trophy that they've picked, and out comes a jive talking WB frog creature who is like
What's the frog's name? Quick.
Froggerton.
Michigan J Frog.
Huh.
It's a fun fact.
Why?
I don't make the fucking rules. Again, I know a little bit about everything. I know the name. I don't know why it's the name.
Well,
I don't know anything else. I know no further
then
details.
maybe
I know one thing.
Maybe you shouldn't say the minor trivia thing out loud.
So I have nothing to follow up with?
So that I don't question you and you don't get embarrassed on the live air on the podcast.
Fair.
I wrote. So anyway, so they wake up this like imp thing.
Yeah.
And the imp is like, "Thank you for saving me. Well, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? How about I give each and every one of you a wish, and I'll grant you a wish, and you can get whatever you want, baby."
Cue some of the most embarrassingly weak wishes I've ever heard.
Cue some of what a bunch of cowardly wishes. I want money. I want a woman. I want to be the prom queen. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'd wish for?
And throw cat!
I would wish for free the surgery and my own milk bar in this house. You cowards. Like, you could wish, you can literally wish for anything.
That's such a good wish.
I wish I was on Little St. James right now.
I am writing that down in case I ever get wishes.
Like, you could wish...
Free the surgery. And my own milk... Did you say in this room?
In this house.
And my own milk bar in this house. That's that's a wish.
That's a wish. But you can wish for anything. Like, I wish I was in Paris right now. I wish that I was having the most delicious meal that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I wish that I was just laying there getting pounded in the butt.
I wish I was cool Twitter personality Elon Musk.
Yeah, anything. Not like, I want gold bars. Well, I didn't get to be prom queen, so I'd love to be
Prom queen. Imagine any wish in the world, prom queen.
And then my next note,
kill yourself.
in all caps, with an exclamation point, is, wish for a better body, you dumb bitch. You've got the most depressing body I've ever seen.
You lucked
Wish
out.
for a better body.
Oh, boy.
I would like to have tits. I would like to have an ass. I would like to not look like a 13-year-old boy. No, I want to be the prom queen.
Embarrassing.
How
do you live
You're
with
lucky
yourself?
your face is nice.
Okay, so you wished for a bitch to fuck, and now you're... Oh, yeah. So he wishes for a bitch, and then isn't even into it.
Why are nerds so weird about sex stuff? I'd say almost any woman who's throwing herself at me in that manner, but then I wrote in brackets under a certain weight class, and you wouldn't be able to stop me.
Yeah.
But then he's like, I want to have sex with this beautiful girl that I'm in love with, and then she tries to have sex with him, and he's like, ew, not my penis.
Yeah,
not my penis.
Okay, so you literally wished specifically for a bitch to fuck, and now you're being a baby because she's sexually aggressive.
Yeah, coward.
What's the matter with you?
Although I feel like that's the second movie this episode, because also Elvira.
Yep.
Of, like, why are men so afraid of sexually aggressive women?
Yeah.
Because, like, literally...
They're doing the work for you.
You think about it all the time.
Yeah.
You think about pounding sniz every Friday night, and now all of a sudden this girl who's hot and you're in love with wants to, and you're like...
into it. Guess what? For once you don't have to rape.
Maybe that's the problem.
Oh.
Maybe he's about... It's about the rape.
It's a Cosby.
It's a Cosby.
It's a Huxtable.
Yeah, it's a Huxtable. He wants to rape someone who doesn't want it.
Yeah, we've covered it, but I like that the evil imp is a black dude. Pretty progressive for the 80s.
Yep. Although the bad guy's a black guy, so is that progressive?
Yes.
Okay.
It's back. It's back around the progressive.
So the imp, of course, much like a monkey's paw, all of his wishes backfire, or like bullshit.
But like
weekly bullshit.
Yeah, they're not ironic twists or anything.
This money isn't real.
Yeah, it was a lie. He never in any way granted your wish.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the two like higher up sorority bitches who were watching, he just turns them into monsters.
One's the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
The other one's just
a bitch.
Like a punk bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's a janitor working at the bowling alley.
Yeah. Who's trapped in a closet for most of the movie.
Most of the movie. But then the two main characters find him in there.
Yeah.
And then and they explain to him what's going on, and it's like, the janitor just knew about the imp and left it to chance that somebody might never open it.
No one ever touches this bowling.
I was like, it must be an 80s B horror movie.
No, it's worse than that. Because when they start talking to him, initially talking to him about the imp, he's like, "You kids are on drugs." And then his next sentence is like, "Oh, you mean the imp in the in the bowling trophy?" Oh, I'm like, you cannot have that both ways. That was very stupid. At some point, when the imp is confronted with his bullshit wish granting, he did have the line of the movie. "That's what imps do, goofy." I love that he unironically called someone goofy.
I think that was pretty great.
That was excellent.
So there's like a bunch of murders. Like they throw the chunkier guy like face first into a record player that then like the rotator that rotates them kind of like cuts his face off sort of.
Yeah, that was good.
And then they kill the janitor and he has a very funny line where he's in the room because the idea is that the two of them are like, how do we stop him? And they're like, well, once you trap him in like an enclosed space, he loses his power. So
let's put him in boy girl's vagina over here.
Maybe. So they're like, okay, well, why don't they're trying to explain him, but he's like hard of hearing or something.
Yeah,
and then they're trying to say to
yeah.
him, "Why don't you wait here in case we need you?"
Yeah,
and that way we have like a backup. And he goes, "You know what? I'm gonna stay here and just in case something happens, you guys are bad." They're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." So they leave. They go out, and then there's like a knock at the door. He opens the janitor opens the door. It's the imp, and he yells, "Oh, goddamn that fucking imp!" and then gets killed right away. It's so good.
And it's another one of those things where like, what are the bounds of the powers of the imp? Because like
unlimited.
He can do magic. So like, I feel like, because you don't think about it, but like if you had that power and were evil, depending on what your goals were, you could very easily take over the world like that day.
Yep,
that day.
Yeah. Well, it's the same principle as he's an undead Undertaker who has the power of necromancy and he wants to win the WWF title.
Yes, that is his one and only goal.
Yeah, it's a real The Undertaker.
Yeah.
So after almost everybody's been killed, and they eventually escape the mall, they think they're home free, and then they're driving back to the sorority, and the imp pops up in the back seat and yells, "Monster in the back seat, oldest trick in the book." It was very, very silly.
And then they put him in a box and that's it?
They just cover him with like a tin.
Yeah.
Like he's an upside down tin, but I guess as soon as you cover him, he like is completely incapacitated and can't move.
Yeah.
So they just cover him and then of course that's the end of the movie.
That's the end.
They cover him up, they kiss, done.
Yep, they got him. I found out, well, it was short.
It was. It absolutely was.
No complaints. Way to go, Bobbert. Bobby Lash.
Bobby.
Which brings us to 2000's Furi Kuri.
Hey.
Before, and you're going to have a few things to say. I'm going to hand the floor over to you in just a sec.
Thank you.
I'm just going to read out the weird coincidence I had the day I was going to watch this from a Facebook friend. We're friends. We're friendly. We're friendsly. We're friends. Friendsly. Just I happened to see from my sort of friend TJ.
Brag. I sort of have a friend.
I sort of have a friend. He's a nice guy and a lawyer.
And a lawyer.
And here is his post from December 17th, 2022. In asterisks denoting action, yelling into a payphone in a windstorm. Yeah, it's pronounced Fooly Cooley. Yup, FLCL. It's a surrealist Japanese anime series from the early 2000s. Yes, that's the show I said was better than The Sopranos. Which, funny post and interesting coincidence. And then we watched it, and is it better than The Sopranos? And of course, brought to us by Stephen Cruz from Thailand. Drew, go.
Stephen Cruz, a man I've spoken to many times. A man...
A friend of the show?
Who has sent us nudes of his wife. A man...
I hope his wife is listening.
Fucking second. 2.5 hours into this fucking thing. Steven, if not, I apologize, but I'm real mad about you making us watch this. I think that I hate anime. They're like, I can watch Miyazaki movies. I can watch Attack on Titan.
The end.
I can watch One Punch Man.
I haven't watched it. It does. I'm very interested in the premise. I like the premise. I will watch it. And we will watch another series by the guy who did One Punch Man. I am full of spoilers.
Okay, what's the guy's name?
Hayao Miyazaki. Two. The other one. Yeah, he's credited as Roman numeral 2 on IMDb.
Right.
He's the other second Hayao Miyazaki.
Somebody already had his name.
Not related.
Is
it pouring the fuck rain outside?
Pouring the fuck rain.
Holy shit.
Much like previous times we've had to watch a series of anime.
Yes. Or a series of anime condensed into a movie. Which has happened a shocking amount of times on these requests. We forget that, because we're like, when we got these, we're like, there's more anime than we thought. But then we're like, oh yeah, like, you guys are on the internet a lot. You're probably also anime fans. Yeah. It tracks.
Correct.
As a much nicer version of what Adam said on stream last Sunday.
I just feel like anime is made for people who need high stimulation all the time.
Yes.
And I'm not someone who needs high stimulation all the time. And also, because I have suffered several brain injuries in my life.
Double digit?
I don't know if it's double digit yet. I think it's 8.
High single?
I think it's 8 or 9.
That's good numbers.
Unconfirmed.
I'm going to get
confirmed 5.
Okay.
The rest I don't know.
Feels like another 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hard time paying attention to things that don't stay on topic very well.
Okay.
So I feel like anime is
more non-linear stuff.
Yeah, or just like not constantly jumping around to things.
Like Revolutionary Girl Utena was not made for me.
No,
nor you.
No,
maybe even less you than me.
I mean, even to some extent,
tough to wrap your head around.
Kamina Mocha. Even to some extent, because there was a lot of just like, because like anime's got a lot of, especially like series, have a lot of just like fast jumping like push-ins of like somebody being angry, or like grabbing a character and doing something really fast, or like moving from this person to this person, like a lot of jumping around. And it's very much like I did not retain enough information from the previous thing to now
we're on to another
know
thing.
What the fuck is going on now.
It's very ADHD overstimulating. Like I feel like I should be taking Adderall to watch it.
Yes, and maybe we should.
But
I feel like this might be like the number one offender.
This is a lot. This is
Yeah.
in your face.
Like, I struggle to get through other stuff, but this was the hardest thing to get through.
Yeah,
Like, I really had a hard time with it. And then I even watched 3 separate YouTube videos
really?
of people explaining or reviewing it, and I still had a hard time. Because it's just so much going on all the time.
It is so much.
And it's so absurd and abstract and a third A word that are just, like... You have, like, they don't explain the rules of the universe.
Yeah.
And just when you think you're kind of understanding
they drop you into it, and
they're just like, oh, but then this thing. And you're like,
oh, boy.
What the fuck?
Okay, so
like,
now once it's been a while, and you think you have something of a handle, but then, it
goes from one set, like, this is the rules of the universe.
Yeah.
But now,
just kidding.
It spreads out into these 3
Just kidding, fuck you.
So, like, okay, so these 3 things, as well as that first thing, are now the set rules of the universe. And then these 3 things spread out into 8 things, and then you're like, holy fuck, why is there so many things I need to know?
So many things.
Like, I can't, I'm barely getting the first one, let alone the second 3, let alone the final 8 things of, like, all the things that need to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, even writing notes, like, all of my notes are very short and very incoherent to me. Even though I watch this and review videos, all of it is fucking confusing to me.
Yeah.
Like, my first note is head horn portal ?
Yep.
That brings in robots.
I mean, that's definitely a thing. That's an accurate thing in this show. A big part of the show, in fact.
It was a huge part of the show.
It was head horn portal.
And, like...
Yeah, it's nuts. It takes a decent amount to overstimulate me.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a good, I don't know if it's really attention span, but I do have a good attention span. Like, I'm patient, I have a good attention span. I can take in a lot and be okay, and I can take a lot.
Yep. I'm sad you beat me to that, because I was going to say it.
Well, can't shoot the shooter.
I'd like to.
But yeah, there aren't a lot of things. The one thing, it was probably last year, that was so overstimulating it made me feel old. Was the WarioWare game for Switch. It's like it's a bunch of mini games, but it's so fast and so, like, epileptic flashing. Some of the games are 4 seconds long.
That's crazy.
And I have never felt so old. I'm like, I've never felt like so far in the wrong generation for what this media is geared towards.
Right.
I'm like, this is for tweens with ADHD, with severe ADHD. They're the only ones who can keep up with this game. I don't think I've ever felt a video game has never made me feel old before that, but that made me feel old. And this did a bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Even though it's from 2000.
Even though it's from 2000. Had I watched it in 2000, maybe I wouldn't have felt it. Maybe I would have been all over it when I was 2 and watching this game.
Yeah,
watching
2.
This movie.
Definitely 2.
Look, we all know I'm a 1998 baby.
And definitely not the year you graduated high school.
I graduated in 01. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Don't act like I'm old.
I'm so sorry.
Damn it, he tricked me into saying when I graduated. But I graduated early because I'm a genius. Graduated at 4 years old. Guess who's back to 97?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, again, I like just all notes that no context. I just have notes.
Yes. Now, my first note is a question to you. Did you, like me,
No.
immediately... Oh, I'm sad. Did you, comma, like me, comma, also immediately start singing Fooly Cooly to the tune of Little Richard's Tutti Frutti?
I did not.
Because I did.
But I wish I did.
And I did through the whole series.
That sounds fun.
Fooly Cooly, oh, Ruben. It was great. So I did that for a lot. And, the show starts, like, hard and fast. And never lets up. So, yeah, where do your notes take us?
I don't know. I had head horn portal, and then I wrote, you're living with us now, and you're a robot butler.
Yeah, so there's a main character boy who is hanging out with his older brother's girlfriend.
Yeah. Does his name almost sound like the N-word, or was that the last one? I know it was the last one. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get another reg,
yeah.
which is...
No.
Nope.
We're 2 hours and 35 minutes, and I feel like I can say the N-word.
Is there there's 2 more after this. Pretty good. But let's soldier on. Yeah, so...
I want to fall asleep in this chair on purpose, so that you have to do this by yourself.
That'll show 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the kid's older brother is playing baseball in America.
America. America!
His brother's Hideo Nomo.
Good reference, except for he's a pitcher, not a hitter.
Shit, he was a hitter, wasn't he?
Hideo Matsui.
Hideki Matsui. Yeah.
I mean, I guess Ichiro, but
that's a boring reference.
I want more deep cuts.
Chan-Ho Park, and a lot of people are going to tell you he's Korean, but
And also a pitcher.
But don't let that stop you.
No, I thought I was going to pull another one, but who was the really fat one? There was a really fat Japanese guy, right?
Yokozuna.
I don't think he's Japanese. Also,
goddamn you fat Japanese girls. So, were you thinking of the Weezer song?
Maybe. Fat Japanese girls. There's no fat Japanese girls.
Not really. Honestly, not really. I don't know if they make them.
I don't think they do.
I think they ceased production on those in wartime and just
because they couldn't feed them.
Yeah, exactly, and then they just never
started.
started.
Too busy torturing Koreans.
Yeah, they just never started up again.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, kid is hanging out with his older brother's girlfriend, but she's almost his girlfriend now.
I don't fucking.
And then just like some wild fucking bitch motorcycles in out of nowhere, smashes him in the head with her guitar.
Yep. There's a lot of guitar in this, and I wrote a mean note about it later.
Yeah, she's the Jeff Jarrett of anime.
Why? She stole Kurt Angle's wife?
Nobody needed to steal Kurt Angle's wife. Kurt Angle was cheating on her like crazy.
Having all that bestiality sex with Charmel.
Drew, I have news.
Don't check your phone.
I have, but it's important
news.
Is
it wrestling news?
No.
Oh, is it Kelly Summers news?
Well, I'm a wrestler, so I guess it's wrestling news because it's got news. I have 6,666 Twitter followers.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Big day.
That's wild that it happened that fast.
We did it. Okay, new deal because you guys haven't even heard this yet.
Refresh.
I don't want to refresh. I'm going to be sad when I refresh. But let's see. Let's have a look. Oh, look. What do you know?
Okay, now refresh again.
And we're back. I want by Monday 10,000 followers.
Oh my god.
Before I needed 3. Now I need 3,000.
Get me to 1,000.
Drew to 1,000, me to 10. That's the deal. All right, you got till Monday and go.
Oh
my god, we did it. Yeah. So, is there a reason she picked him to abuse,
Scott,
or was he?
Scott, let me stop you right there.
I should stop.
Let me stop you
stop asking why questions
before you continue.
Okay.
I have 0 answers for you.
Don't ask.
So whatever you're confused about,
yeah,
I'm equally as confused about.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be able to say I think it was this or maybe it was this. I'm going to go, did that happen? Sure. So you just read your notes. I'm going to read my notes, and then we're going to move on.
We'll call it a day. Yeah, I don't know if this is something you have to rewatch a bunch of times in order to absorb everything.
I sure as fuck don't want to.
But like a lot of people, say this is like the best anime series.
Those people are autistic.
Those people haven't seen Attack on Titan because Attack on Titan
those people
slaps.
Are retarded.
They might be. I think that's on.
Hold on, while I adjust my balls directly at you. You're welcome.
Man, I saw like a pop, like something was really stuck in there, and you got it out.
My underwear was wedged up.
Good for you. Feel better?
Yeah,
good. You look better.
I don't know what the reference for my next note is. I just wrote, I am a fire starter.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like, was there a fire? Did somebody start a fire?
Wish.
Or did somebody have a fire hair? Was there a robot made of fire? I don't fucking know.
I don't have answers to that question.
Sorry, before I stop, do you remember what the Weird Al song of that was?
Of I Am a Firestarter?
Yeah.
I am a kindergartner.
No.
Damn.
Because is the song actually called Firestarter?
I don't know.
I don't think so. It's
I think Firestarter is the Prodigy album.
Is that not the song though as well?
Oh, is it? I guess it is.
The song is I got a lousy haircut. I'm angry at my barber.
Angry at my barber. I don't know if I've heard that actually.
And he's just
that's a Weird Al deep cut.
I don't think it's an actual song. I think it's from the show.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
What show?
The Weird Al Yankovic show.
That came out after.
I don't know.
Prodigy?
I don't know what it's from.
I think you're out of your
I don't
mind.
think it's an actual song though. I think it's just like a quick clip.
Gotcha.
But because it's like, yeah, it's him doing the same music video where he's dancing in that underground abandoned tunnel or subway or whatever.
Yeah.
With the same hair. And he's doing all of the weird like Ace Ventura dancing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I got a lousy haircut. I'm angry at my barber.
So the whack on the head causes a bump on his head that then sort of develops into a straight up horn.
Yep.
And then it's explained that she's using the inside of his brain as a portal to bring through crazy robot shit. Correct me if jump in if I'm wrong.
This is like if I said to you, Scott, you've got 5 minutes to pitch me a movie.
Yeah.
Go. And you're like, so he's got a horn on his head that conjures robots from another portal that then come into the world and either fight him or fight the other robots or are just good guys who live with them. Yes,
because one ends up just being like Helper from the Venture Brothers. So this would have been an episode 1 note. What the fuck RE brain robot fight? So two robots come out of his brain eventually. They fight each other.
One gets destroyed.
One defeats the other and then just becomes its own thing and is just like the butler sort of in the house for the rest of the and the way this girl who severely physically assaulted him just insinuates herself into their lives is like the kid gets home from the assault. She's there. And his dad,
like their boarder,
and his dad says she's the housekeeper now. I'm like, okay.
And she's staying in your room.
And she lives in your room now. Weird.
It's I have like all of my notes are so all over the fucking place that I don't even know where the next one goes. I just wrote like one of my notes is no more robot. Now I'm a cat. What's that note?
Well, there's clearly a best episode, and the best episodes. I think it's episode 3 or 4. It's the stuff I had before that. They do use like several different art styles, which is cool. Like they use like traditional anime, whatever. Then they do some like chibi, like cute children stuff, and then straight up comic book. They go to comic book anytime they're having a conversation in the kitchen for whatever reason. But and then the credits are live action. It's like sort of first person riding her motorcycle. Then I think one of my few, maybe 2 notes for episode 2. Did a robot angel just ascend to heaven? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
And then this was just a running commentary of literally what was happening. So the robot ate the boy. He sort of became the robot, defeated the other robot that came out of his head. Then the first robot literally shit him out. Literally shit him out.
Yes. That is 100%
That's
what happened.
all stuff that happened. And then we get cat episode where just basically is the most of the rest of my notes. So he gets cast in a play to play the female lead's pet cat. And I'm like, oh, it's embarrassing to play a talking cat in a school play. Fuck, if that was an option for me in school, I'd have been a full-time thespian. Are you kidding me? If I got to play cats every time?
You would have been getting scholarships to go to acting colleges.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be in Cat Juilliard right now. Yeah, and then, okay, this seems to be a cat-centric episode. I'm into it. Yeah, and so... again, more. So this time, instead of growing a horn, he grows cat ears. I'm like, growing cat ears, awesome. While still also having human ears. That's not how it works. Clap emojis.
You don't get a second.
You don't get two pairs of ears, asshole. Is that hard? Do you like
apparently
that to me, and you wouldn't think about this, but it is. That to me is as stupid in a TF scenario as growing a pair of paws out of your wrist while still having human hands.
Absolutely.
That's as fucked up as cat ears and human ears at the same time. Yeah. That's not how it works. That's just growing weird. Those are malegnant.
Wow.
Maleficent. Those are maleficent
tumors.
I'm writing down maleficent tumors because that made me laugh. Those are malevolent. I've lost it. Malignant.
Maleficent.
Also, cool movie, Malignant.
Yeah.
How come no one asked for that?
Real cool movie.
Those are tumors because nothing is changing.
Not a tumor.
Like nothing's changing about your existing stuff. You're just growing crazy,
Separate
crazy,
pair?
awful new things. So yeah, that's you're bad at your job, TFRs. If that's what you're doing. What was that? Right? Maleficent.
Just hire furries. Why is it so hard?
It shouldn't be as hard.
Put it in the job application. Must be a furry.
Preferably TF centric.
Yeah, but even
regular,
even not, you're still gonna be a reference point
100%.
of, hey, does this look good? No, it looks terrible. Why does she have 2 ears?
Yeah, no, you're right. Worst furry, better than best non-furry. Yeah, it's like the wrestling hierarchy.
Yeah,
even
the worst male wrestler is better than
the best bear, who is the worst of whom is better than the best woman.
Correct.
Men, bears, women.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that was really the only cat parts TF though. We didn't really get further than ears. I thought I mean, that's kind of my hope for everything in life is slow burn cat TF. Yeah. But rarely, if ever, do I get my wish because there is no God. But it ends in another robot fight, right? Yep, it does. That's kind of how most of them go. And the robot the first robot that grew out of his head from the first episode, I believe in this episode, gets caught beating off in his little corner that he lives in, which was interesting that robots do that.
We shouldn't have dropped all those nukes on them.
We shouldn't. 2 is too many.
2 is too many.
We can
really
definitely
fuck them.
We can definitely agree. I don't remember what it was, but there was Coming to America branded curry. Like the Eddie Murphy movie. I'm like, that's right. Like that wasn't current in 2000. That's like 1989,
80 something,
88, 89. So that just caught me off guard and was funny. And then the cat episode ends after, I don't know, I guess the robot fight with him in the play, and I gotta say, is a cute cat costume they got him in.
Cute costume.
Yeah, and
gosh, that's cute.
God, that's cute. Then episode 4 or 5, they give a bit of actual exposition as to what's going on. There's like a mechanical, crazy medical mechanical factory research lab slash anything in town in the shape of a big iron, who is involved in this portal shit. And our crazy girl, our manic pixie dream girl, is trying to get to a guy she knows in the place, maybe. And that I actually from there only have a couple more notes. One is Nazi dad !
I wrote, oh look, anime Nazis.
Yep.
What a shocker.
Japan loves them.
They
were friends.
I have 2 notes before that. One is a woman baseball player. What?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then I wrote a baseball shaped bomb, and then a home run counter.
Yes, that was the baseball episode, which I believe was after the cat episode. And it might have also had Nazi Dad. I can't remember where he showed up.
Somewhere.
And I think probably the one after the baseball, they did a straight up South Park style animation for one thing, which was fun. And then there's some fourth wall breaking in the show. There's a bit of like looking to camera and stuff, and I think it was probably like near the end of the last episode. They're like, okay, enough already. Let's just be a normal anime.
Yeah. We're doing this a little too much.
So like, even then, because I don't know how self-aware year 2000 animes are, but clearly it was, and it knew it was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's everything I got. A second watch probably would serve me better. I don't know if I'm going to do one.
I'm not.
Drew's going to yell at Stephen Cruz some more.
No, I'm just going to yell at the fact that...
Stephen Cruz, the first person in history to move to Thailand and marry a woman and have kids with her.
Of age woman. All of the guitar stuff, very gay. Guitars are gay. If you like guitars, you're kind of gay.
Gayer. Guitars or cars? I don't want to put you on the spot.
You can fuck a car, so that makes it gayer.
Okay.
I guess you can fuck a guitar, but there's strings in the way. That's going to be tough.
You got to remove the G string. And then,
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do.
Then you can fuck it. That was it? Guitars are gay?
Guitars are gay, and also stop making us watch anime.
That's okay. I'm sure there isn't any more anime in the next 5 episodes.
I know. Whatever.
Although I feel like we've done a decent chunk of it. For some reason, all the anime was front-loaded.
Yeah, you were the one that laid it out, so...
Well, it's largely in the order they came. So
I guess that's true.
The most excited people love anime.
I want them to watch my favorite anime, even though it's terrible.
Yep. And then there's not so much... Oh, wait. He's a massive anime fan, actually. I was going to say, there's not so much anime fans as there are sad rural Australians who find 1971 movies relatable. But then I remembered that Leo Larkin is literally our anime correspondent for the show.
He sure is.
And he brought us Wake in Fright from 1971, to which he says, fun little family jaunt about what boredom and isolation does to people. Jokes aside, I was a teenager in the 2000s in a small Australian country town, and this movie is still applicable 50 years later. Maybe not the carrying a firearm down the street with you, that would not fly after 1996. Scorsese called this movie deeply disturbing, so can't wait for your guys' take, as I have witnessed or done a lot of the things in this movie and was completely desensitized to it. So the carrying a gun after 1996. So there was like a mass shooting in Australia in 1996, and then they banned guns.
Yes, they did.
And then there weren't any more mass shootings.
Yeah, but that only works there.
Oh.
That doesn't work everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You think doing it in one place having a 100% success rate is going to work in every other country?
It's the exception, not the rule.
Correct.
Even though it's the only time. They're literally 1 for 1.
Yes.
They're batting 1,000 doing it.
But imagine this awful thing happening one time, and you're like, let's fucking solve the problem for good. Opposed to
hear me out, letting it happen hundreds of times,
letting it happen daily.
Yeah.
Do you know what is actually a really fun game that I saw on Instagram? Maybe is you would say, okay, name a place, Scott, like a place you would go, a store, a company, a restaurant, whatever. Just name one place.
Tower Records.
Okay, now you go to...
It's been closed for over 20 years. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm going to see if it still works.
I'm intrigued what this game is.
Maybe that doesn't work. Ex-worker held in record store shooting.
Or is it like, was there a shooting?
A Tower Records worker dismissed for stealing 2 weeks ago tried to rob the store earlier yesterday and was arrested for wounding a security guard and pistol whipping the manager.
Nice.
Name another place.
So is this wasthereashootingthere.com?
No, it's just you just Google search the place shooting, and you will almost always find like
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
No, not a city.
Oh, like Starbucks.
Yeah, that's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot. There's one of those in Vancouver.
Hobby Lobby
shooting.
They're good Christians, so they probably don't have any.
Video of police shooting at a Lake Havasu City Hobby Lobby was released by the Mojave County Sheriff's Department. About 30 seconds into the body camera footage, the man drops with what appears to be a mobile phone before struggling with an officer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's almost 100%.
There is no place that hasn't had a shooting.
The video I saw was two dudes sitting on a couch, and the one guy is just saying places.
Yeah.
His friend is Googling it, and they're like, it's literally like everything. Because, in the U.S., everything happens.
Yeah.
You're like, Toys R Us. Bam.
Absolutely.
I
bet there's a Toys R Us this week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you look up statistics, state to state, it's wild how many happen.
Yeah.
But in Australia, they were like, we are one and done.
Yeah. Would you describe that as the coward's way out?
Yeah, but I also don't want to get shot, so...
Yeah. Me neither.
My first note, Scott. Australia looks like such an awful place to live. Especially anywhere outside of the majorest of cities, anytime before the year 2000.
Yeah, if you're not in Sydney, Melbourne, or Briz, give me brain.
Nice.
You're welcome.
My family's from Canberra.
Ooh, the capital, even though it's not a very big city.
Nope. And also, one of my distant cousins owns and operates the largest cattle herding operation.
The largest cattle mutilation operation.
All of Darwin.
Ooh.
In all of the Northern Territories.
Is his name Bryn?
I don't know what his name is. I've never met him, but my grandparents have met him. My mom met him.
Oh, his name is Bryn.
And he has a massive cattle ranch in Darwin.
And that's northern...
That's the northernmost point on the west coast, all the way up.
It's funny on the unpopulated states, they didn't even bother naming them because there's New South Wales, Victoria, Western Australia,
and it's the majority of
Southern
the middle,
Territory. Yeah,
the middle and the top.
Oh, it's 6 billion square miles.
Yeah. And completely unlivable.
Yeah,
yeah. You can only live on the coast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no one lives in the middle of Australia.
Well, except for the ones that aren't allowed to live in the rest of the country because
kangaroos?
They're full of racists.
Kangaroos.
Yeah, kangaroos. Wallabies.
My first note
Chazwazzers.
My first note was, this sure is Australia. Yeah. What's that, a rabbit-proof fence? Literally, I think it was.
Yep. Hey, we watched that.
We did watch that.
Yeah.
So we have a fancy British man.
Yeah, who's a teacher.
And is
getting reassigned, and he's really disheartened with the way he's being treated. That he's a very prim, proper, well-educated, well-trained teacher, and he's being reassigned to these podunk, butt-fuck, middle-of-nowhere town.
Yeah, he appears to be teaching at a grade, 3 to 10.
Yeah.
One-room schoolhouse.
Well, there's only 12 kids in the city, so they all go to learn.
They all go to one school, and they learn at their own rate.
They learn it all. I don't know how you manage that, but
yeah, it's weird. Yeah, if you're 15, you're learning addition, and if you're 6 You're Learning Edition.
Yep.
Just like ever.
Advanced calculus all around.
Yeah. Yeah, you should teach to the oldest kids. If the young ones don't get it, they'll get it next year.
Exactly. They're going to move up to it.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pick it up at an earlier age, and then by the time they're there,
I think they're
A+.
I think they're going about it wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So it's a Christmas break?
Christmas break. Yeah. He's going home to visit his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But he has to take...
Girlfriend.
Well, Scott, we'll fucking get there. But he has to take... he has to go to another small town to catch a flight to go to Sydney.
To Sydney. Is girlfriend's in Sydney?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Or is she in England and he's got to fly out to Sydney?
I have no fucking idea.
Unclear. But he's got to take a train to a slightly bigger town than the one-room schoolhouse. Yeah. But still not a big town.
Still not a big town at all.
Yeah.
Still an awful place to live.
And then take like a 6-seater plane out of there to Sydney.
To Sydney.
And either fuck his pretend girlfriend in Sydney or fly Sydney to London and fuck his pretend girlfriend there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. He's a real Scott Henson type.
Yeah.
Oh, my girlfriend lives in Canada. You live in Canada.
We live in Canada.
I mean, she lives in none of it.
Kyoto.
The Accord. I hear you.
Good Accord. Well, don't ask America.
Don't ask America.
But everyone else is pretty okay with it. Hey, do you want to be able to breathe in 20 years? No. Gay.
Fucking gay. Get out of here. I'm going to be dead in 20. So yeah, he goes into like a bar and he kind of meets all of the local ruffians,
including Officer Jack Crawford. I'm like, from Silence of the Lambs?
Jack Crawford.
Is that Dennis Farina / Lawrence Fishburne /
Ray Liotta?
No. Who's Jack Crawford in Silence of the Lambs? Because Farina is Manhunter.
Yep.
Fishburne is Hannibal series.
Yeah.
If you were Jack Crawford in Silence of the Lambs, who would you want to play you?
Is he in Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, for sure.
Because Jodie Foster's the main...
Yeah, but she chills with Jack Crawford.
Does she?
He's definitely in it. Definitely.
How long... I haven't seen that movie in 25 years.
Scott Glenn.
Okay.
Scott Glenn is Jack Crawford in Oscar-winning The Silence of the Lambs.
Uh-huh. What about in Hannibal or Hannibal Rising or Hannibal? No, or Red Dragon.
Hannibal's back and he's pissed. Yeah. I don't know because none of those are that good.
One of them's Ed Norton.
Ed Norton is Red Dragon.
No, but I think he's a different person.
Oh wait, Ralph Fiennes is Red Dragon.
Ralph Fiennes is Red Dragon.
Yeah, Ed Norton's someone.
Ralph Fiennes, Wreck-It Ralph is the Red Dragon.
Yes.
And Ed Norton is the...
Is he Will? Is he Will Graham or Jack Crawford or a different person?
He might be Will Graham. Or, yeah... I feel like we're getting off track.
No,
it's 3 hours into a podcast.
No. Ed Norton is Will Graham.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ralph Fiennes as Francis Dollarhide.
The
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon.
P.S. A shocking amount of Red Dragon-related good TF in the Hannibal series, because he keeps imagining himself turning into the dragon. Now, yes, it's a scaly, but there is some nice tail growth.
Big dick.
And you can... And huge hanging dong.
Double
dong dragon.
Double dong dragon. Triple dong Denzel.
You can never go too wrong with tail growth.
Yeah. You know, two wrongs don't make a right.
Correct. So... Yeah, so he
meets all the local ruffians.
Yeah.
Including Donald Pleasance.
Yes.
Who apparently everybody on set was shocked to find out he wasn't Australian because of how good his Australian accent was.
Really?
Yeah, because he's British.
He's British. Yeah, he does... he's indistinguishable from the Australians.
I actually didn't know... Like, when I saw him and heard him talk, I was like, oh, I guess he's Australian.
Maybe he's Australian.
Because I had no idea.
Yeah. Although, most other stuff, he's just British.
Do you know who he is? He's Dr. Loomis.
Halloween.
In Halloween, which is where Dexter Loomis
got his last name. But where's Dexter from? Some kind of... Let me see if I can figure out. Dexter Loomis is a wrestler who plays like a weird serial killer guy. So Loomis is from Halloween. Dexter's Laboratory. Serial killer. Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah. The Nickelodeon cartoon.
He's a
scientist.
He's a
child scientist.
He's a child scientist who's a doctor that stops serial killers, but he's also a serial killer.
Oh, what a twist.
Where he's a bad wrestler who only wrestles other bad wrestlers. And kayfabe married the ugliest woman in wrestling.
Not wrong. Sorry, Indy Hartwell.
No, not sorry.
You're busted.
You busted. Your face is so bizarre. It's like,
also Australian.
It's like your jawline goes like this. I know I'm doing a visual hand gesture.
You're doing asymmetry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her face is asymmetrical and it's awful.
She's got a tough face.
Got a tough face.
Yeah.
And she's a terrible wrestler. Maybe one of the worst wrestlers in the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't have a lot going for her.
She really doesn't. But she'll probably have a job for a long time.
Somehow she has had a job for a long time and will continue to.
Somebody likes her.
Yeah.
Or they
somebody up there likes
see
her.
Potential in her. I don't know. Maybe they're losers.
I guess this would have been the bar scene. Accurate portrayal of Australian alcoholism.
Yep.
Is pretty good. Just like non-stop drinking, because what else?
Drink your beer. Well, I can't afford to drink your beer. I don't care. You drink.
You're drinking beer. I'll buy all of your beer.
Drinking another one.
Just aggressive.
Nobody comes here and not drinks.
Aggressive drinking, and I got an issue with it, and this applies to a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. If you fuckers want to get wasted so bad, how about you drink something harder than beer? What's your deal?
I don't know.
Do you love to pee?
They love their Fosters.
Fosters.
They
Australian
love
for
to,
gay.
They love to feel bloated and full of piss.
Yeah. Like, if you are drinking to get drunk, which you clearly are,
Vodka.
there are better ways to go than beer.
Vodka, tequila. Windshield washer fluid. Just ask people who do it and are of a certain background. Who live near Scott.
Dangerously near Scott.
Dangerously near Scott, considering they're high on windshield washer fluid.
And Jenkum.
Jenkum.
Are we still doing Jenkum?
I don't think so.
We're not huffing poo anymore?
No!
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Why would you do that? Are you that desperate?
You're that desperate and stupid. It's a 50-50 combination of desperate and stupid. Because a lot of people are desperate, but not everyone is that stupid.
I can't believe that people would do that.
You ferment your own poo.
Ferment your own shit and then just smell it until you're high as fuck.
Yeah. It's worth a try. So we've established we're not doing that anymore.
I feel like we're not going to be
Jenkum's
doing
over.
Jenkum.
Okay. Fine.
How about cheese? Are we doing cheese?
Cat piss?
Cat piss.
Yeah. They're calling it cheesing.
Cheesing.
Someone along the line had the craziest butt farmer tan I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just like a milky white butt and the rest was red.
Well, he had that too at one point. Like he's laying in bed sleeping
it was
naked.
probably that.
And he's like the pastiest butt you've ever seen and just farmer's tan everywhere else.
Golden brown tan everywhere else. Yeah, it was a very funny look. So there's a dumb rural Australian betting game.
Of all the things to be gambling addicted to.
Heads or tails, baby.
Heads or tails. Got to get them both.
Yeah.
And you got to throw them above your head and they got to hit the ground.
Yep.
And then he looks up at the light and it makes him...
Fucks him up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was that?
Don't know. But he loses all of his money on this dumb game.
Fucking game.
So now he's stuck in this town.
And like, they're... Not to get too deep into it, but like... They treat him like he's fucking dumb, but it is 100% chance.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
oh, you idiot, you bet tails.
You bet double tails, like you're fucking stupid. Like,
it's the same as betting heads,
it's
you
exactly
asshole.
The
same. Tails won last flip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird. Yeah, they're all like laughing at him.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that was very strange. Yeah, so loses his last dime. Oh, yeah, and the thing with... I don't know if this was ever the case, if it still is the case, or if they made it up for the movie, but the way teachers work there, you're like an indentured servant. You have to, like... It's like New York taxi drivers. You have to, like, buy a teaching medallion and then, like, pay it off.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like he's paying off his teacher's license or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like barely even getting paid.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's now destitute and forced to live here. So, a guy, they're a friendly bunch. I'll give them that. They're very. They got that.
They got something else playing.
They got that Southern hospitality. And yeah, when he lost all his money, I'm like, is this going to turn into like a horror movie?
I wasn't sure. I'll be honest. I thought it was like if Mad Max and Deliverance were a cross.
I thought it was going to be Deliverance, and it wasn't.
Not
so
really,
much.
Not really. A little bit.
Yeah, but nothing like as crazy happens.
There's no pig squealing, that's for sure.
No, poor Ned Beatty. Yeah, so he goes home with one guy, and guess what? They keep drinking.
Oh.
And is his daughter or someone's wife whose husband isn't there?
I don't remember.
I don't think she's daughter.
No, wife.
No, I don't think he fucks someone's wife.
Daughter.
Or almost fucks someone. I think the woman is single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it must be some relative to...
But a big slut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they run off and very quickly have a dirt fuck.
Well, not really.
An almost dirt fuck.
I just wrote, I could understand vomiting after kissing a lady. Yeah, he doesn't fuck her.
And they were going to.
He kind of tries to, and then he just immediately vomits from all the alcohol.
Yeah.
But really, it's because he doesn't want to kiss a girl.
Yeah.
Not the character, the actor.
The man.
Gary Bond really didn't want to kiss that girl.
Sad. This I don't remember the context. I don't think there was much context to it, but slut shaming the dog, nice.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was probably just some joke. And yeah, so then more friends come over for a night drinking party after drinking literally all day. And he stays over. Then there's this guy that you can't tell if he's the town doctor or if he's homeless.
Or both.
Yeah, and turns out he's kind of both.
Kind of both.
He is a doctor.
He's a doctor.
He seems that he has access to medicine, but also he doesn't make or use money.
No.
He's fully anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
So respect.
But yet he has the job that would pay the most.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's interesting.
He's weird.
So our boy Gary stays with him for a while. Then they and two more wild friends go on an insane kangaroo hunt.
Yep.
Have I missed?
I got some bad news.
Yeah.
Oh, they straight up killed those kangaroos.
Okay.
I know it was the thing at the end that said what happened.
Yeah.
But I don't fucking believe that for a second. I do not fucking believe that for a second.
I wrote, I'm pretty sure they killed a couple of real kangaroos.
Well, they let a dog fucking maul one.
They sure did.
Then they hit one with a car. And they shot another one.
They did fucking blast one with a car. Now, their cop-out was all of that footage was just from some other kangaroo,
from an actual licensed,
some authorized kangaroo hunt,
because they need to cull the population, or else they wreck the ecosystem,
or else they'll take over Sydney.
Yeah,
which I would give them a chance.
Humans have their chance. They've blown it.
See how the roos do.
But it's 1971. It's the outback of Australia. I don't believe for a fucking second that was legitimately, that they went and they got a license. They got real hunters. They went out there and found there's no way that they didn't just say, guys, run over that fucking kangaroo. Hey, let your dog loose. Go see if it kills that kangaroo.
Yeah, and this roo hunt is frantic.
It's
so stressful.
I will say, this is some pretty fucking impressive stunt driving through the outback.
Oh my god.
The driving was fucking wild.
Because there's trees everywhere.
Everywhere. And he's drifting.
Yeah.
And he's cutting through things and it's fucking cool.
Crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's so stressful, and I can't think of specific instances in my life, but I feel like I've had feelings like this when you're by far the least crazy person of the bunch, but you're with all the crazies and are pressured to just go along with all the wild shit they're doing.
Yeah. Are you saying
we killed the guy?
Wade's bachelor party?
Yeah, a little bit. I guess that is the one time I did cocaine. So maybe, maybe that's in the mix. But even that, I feel like it was stuff. It's more like a high school feeling.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like.
Oh yeah, from your all Asian private school.
They got wild, yo. We had some crazy mahjong games.
Did you even meet girls ever in your life?
Explain.
Were you ever in the same room as
What
girls?
are these gorals?
Well, then never mind.
You speak of.
Never mind. We used to do donuts in my friend's car on the football field while like 3 of us were hanging out the window filming.
Yeah.
I can't believe none of us are paralyzed.
Yeah, just shit like that. And like, was that your idea?
Nope.
Yeah, but
was there.
you were there, and
I
it's
was just there.
kind of stressful.
I was just asking questions, Scott. I'm just asking questions.
Hey, nothing wrong with asking questions.
Yep.
Yeah, but like it's a weird, very stressful feeling.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I haven't had. I'm glad to say I haven't had it in quite some time.
Well, let's do it.
I think we should be the crazy ones, and we should make someone else feel like that.
Kelly.
Kelly.
He's going to be easy to make feel like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do a number on
Let's go to
tomorrow.
Paramount. That'll make him uncomfortable.
True. There's girls there. Oh, I can meet girls.
Naked girls. Naked girls who smell nice, but also have been dancing on Indian men all night.
True. And I can ask one of them if I fucked her last week, and then she says yes, and then I said,
Stop wasting my dick time. And then I'll get the fattest stripper and the youngest boy.
Mm-hmm. I like that they have boys at the strip club. It's a very progressive strip club.
It's very ancient Greece. I would like a 300-pound woman and a 12-year-old boy, please. No questions.
Have the boy cleaned and sent to my trailer. Anything else I had? Oh yeah, and then after the Rue hunt, they go to like this bar shack and ruin it because they're drunk and insane.
Throwing shit.
And like just as it's going on, I'm like, humans weren't meant to live like this.
Maybe in the outback.
No one should have ever colonized Australia. No. Like that was a mistake.
I don't think they planned on it. I think they just wanted to send bad people there.
I guess.
And that, like, no joke, that's how my family got there.
Sure. My
family went from the UK to Australia as the, like, prison guards.
Ooh. They told you they were the guards? That's cute.
I mean, they did tell me they were the guards. But yeah, that's how my family got there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
That they were like, we're going to go supervise all the Irish. Well, that's how you know, though, because, like, my ancestors are mainland Britain.
Yeah.
Not Irish.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't the bad guys.
Oh, the Irish.
The Irish are the bad guys. They are the beeps of Europe.
At least the UK.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Romanians or gypsies are the beep of Europe.
Rom the shells. Yeah.
Yeah. And then wakes up severely hungover at the doctor's like one room garage that he appears to live in, and the doctor's like just like throws a couple of pills at him and is like, take this, you'll feel better. And I was so expecting and he very willingly took the pills. I was so expecting the doctor to say like, I didn't know you get wet like right after he takes the pills.
That's PCP.
Yeah.
Angel's dust.
And and it just sort of, again, not really a conflict movie.
Not particularly.
Not really an antagonist per se. No. Again, only antagonist is a dumb main character for losing all his money, because that's the only conflict in the in the movie, is not being able to get out of this town. Then he with his last with the gun the doctor gives him and the $1 he has left, he hitches a ride into the city, which he thinks is Sydney, and the truck driver thinks is the next piece of shit town over. So he doesn't even get there, and then like never gets to where he's going, and then just goes back to his original shit town because it's taken him the entire Christmas break trying to get out of the other city with zero
what's it called?
Zero success.
Yabo?
The Yabo? Because it was a the
Yabo,
which I like a the in a town. And just such an Australian, the Yabo. Like, is there anything more Australian than that? And
Chaz Wazzer.
And the last thing I wrote is, what a bleak movie.
I just wrote, I don't understand why this is so highly rated. Is it because it's filmed in the Outback in 1971?
Kinda.
Because it had a couple of actual actors? Because it implies gay sex?
Does it? Okay,
I think so.
You implied gay sex.
No, I think
you're gay.
He literally, like, mounts him on the bed, gets really close to him, then he like looks up at the light and blacks out again, wakes up on the floor naked,
anything can
next to Donald Pleasance wearing a dress.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how that doesn't imply gay sex.
It could have been anything.
And I just wrote, because it implies gay
boys being
sex,
boys.
some of the smelliest gay sex.
Oh.
And then I wrote, who topped? That was my final note.
Honestly, fair question. Do you have any fun facts about Gary Bond?
I have some interesting facts. So, Gary Bond died of AIDS.
In 2019.
In like the 90s? 80s? 90s? I don't remember.
I mean, could be either.
He only did 3 movies because he was mainly a stage actor and then did some television. And in the 70s...
Was he a cat thespian?
He might have been a cat thespian.
Nice.
In the 70s, he was in a homosexual relationship with Sir Ian McKellen.
Magneto?
Magneto.
Holy shit.
Magneto himself. Noted poon hound. I bet you he's a Gold Star gay. No, maybe not. He was like an actor in the 60s and 70s. He might have done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, I bet he was all over the place. There's no way he's Gold Star gay. Hugh Jackman is.
Hugh Jackman is definitely a Gold Star gay. The gayest of Gold Stars.
That do it for that one?
Oh, that's it. That's all I got. And also, my mouth's hurting. We're talking too much. My mouth hurts.
A lot of my body parts hurt. For future reference, I'm going to need a second pad on my rocking chair because my tailbone hurts. Okay. Or I'm finally just growing that tail.
Interesting.
In which case, that's okay.
I like the way you think.
I like the way I think, too.
I like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Thank you. Thank you for the guarantee. Let's talk about The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, 1976, from Zimbo Venus, part of his 4-movie request of movies that were filmed in Montreal and hackers.
And hackers. Can't win them all.
Spoilers for future episodes. So, I hadn't heard of this movie.
Me neither.
Even though it has 2, if not more, legitimate film stars in it. And one of whom is one of my favorites, a young Jodie Foster.
One of your favorites?
Yeah, young Jodie Foster is one of my favorites.
I'll tell you what one of my first fucking notes is when you're done.
Here's my first note. Was Jodie Foster's entire deal in her teens doing stuff in movies that were way too adult for her age?
100%.
And then second follow-up, but I gotta say I'm kind of into it. Maybe she'll think I'm cool if I kill Ronald Reagan.
Oh, that's great. That's a great reference.
Thank you.
That's very great. The first thought I wrote is just remember when you could just like, or remember when you would let somebody into your house that you didn't know,
yeah,
and it was like 50-50 if you were gonna get molested or not.
Yeah, just come what may.
Yeah, and now if anybody even knocks on the front door, I turn off all the lights and pretend I'm not home.
Yeah,
yeah, because I'm 100% gonna get molested.
You're gonna get molested.
Yeah.
I hate getting adult molested.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
It's kind of embarrassing, honestly.
It really is. And then I wrote, young Jodie is so unattractive.
She's a boy.
Maybe it's the wig she's wearing.
The wig is helping nothing.
Yeah. Or I said. Or,
also, I don't want to comment on her attractiveness too much because she's what 14 in this.
14.
Yeah.
I wrote, or is it the fact that her accent is going in and out?
The accent is going in and out, and also she was one of a rare person who was born a lesbian.
Yeah. Never interested in men.
Yeah. My second note, not to be outdone by my first note, Martin Sheen could get it.
Yep.
It almost makes you forget he passed around his cutest son to every pedophile in Hollywood, who then continued the cycle of violence on to the next generation.
Yeah, but doesn't it suck to be Emilio? That like
mean,
you weren't the chosen
clearly
one.
You weren't cute enough to get passed around.
Doesn't that kind of suck?
It does kind of suck, but also you didn't get passed around, and then also didn't rape Corey Feldman
and Corey Haim, and then Corey Haim killed himself because of it.
Corey Haim killed himself, and Corey Feldman turned into a crazy person.
Yep.
But
even though he like for years had stated that it was happening and nobody wanted to listen to him, he got blackballed from Hollywood.
Yeah,
and then it came out that it happened, and then everybody was like, sorry,
too late." You should have said something earlier. I did.
Sure, I did.
I kept saying it. Charlie Sheen raped me. But Corey, what are you gonna do? Story, allegory? I don't know. Montessori. So Jodie Foster is an early teen who's alone in the house.
Yeah.
In small town Maine. New England.
New England. Somewhere New England.
And Martin Sheen just comes in the house.
Yep, lets himself in. It's like, oh, hey, I'm waiting for my. What did they say? I'm waiting for my wife and kids.
I'm waiting for my kids. I'm like, that seemed like a lie because he's
wearing a trench coat.
There's not a lot of pretense about the fact that he's a molester.
No, he's wearing a trench coat.
I'm like, there's no way you have a wife or kids.
No. Although he did.
He did. One of my notes is he does have children. What?
Yeah. His mom forced him to marry.
But yeah, that's what's fine. I'm like, that explains because I don't like the idea of a regular guy with a wife and kids also being a molester. It's unusual.
Oh yeah, that's never happened before.
Never happened. But yeah, it comes out that his bitch mom married him off to some woman who he clearly has no interest in, and like made them have kids.
Yeah.
So he
wouldn't
came
be a
off
molester.
as less of a pedophile, but he's a pedophile.
A pedophile.
For sure. It's crazy he doesn't rape her in the first scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
his kids actually show up.
Well, but it's also because he hasn't figured out that she's not telling the truth.
Everyone,
maybe he, as far as he knows, maybe she's telling the truth, and that's why he needs to leave.
Yeah, because my first instinct off of their conversation was, I don't think he has kids, and I don't think her dad is home, because she was saying her dad is home upstairs working and doesn't want to be disturbed, blah, blah, blah. I think everyone's a liar. Turns out the pedophile's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And she was the liar.
She was the liar.
But,
she's a woman. Women
That's
lie.
true. But it becomes clear fairly certain that there is no dad there. And she always has some excuse for whoever. The policeman who also randomly comes in.
But I think that's less suspicious.
It's less suspicious. Sure.
Although, I gotta tell you, I was praying that he was a child molester.
That would be cool.
Because I was like,
and that he and Martin Sheen go to the same meetings and stuff.
or that Martin Sheen like tipped him off.
Ooh,
was like,
fresh meat.
I don't think the dad's ever home.
Fresh meat uptown.
Yeah,
no dad.
Like, I was hoping that was what was going to happen.
I like that. Yeah, so it becomes clear there's no dad around, and that there's mention of a cellar. I'm like, ooh, dead dad in the cellar.
That's what I thought too.
Yep. And
at one point, the officer comes to the house to talk to them.
Yeah.
And he talks to her about the mom is renting the house to the father and her.
Yes.
To live in, and then he kind of brings up like the mom, the lady and whatever, and then says like, have you met her son? And then she says, I did meet him. He said I was pretty. Do you think he's a pervert? And the cop takes a super long sip of tea and doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, that was very good. She's also learning Hebrew. To which I wrote, I wonder why someone getting their start in Hollywood would be learning Hebrew.
Couldn't tell ya.
Interesting. I wonder what advantage that would afford someone as they make their way through show business.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure that one out later.
Who could give you the answers?
She makes friends with some fucking magician dweeb
Some
kid.
dweeb, limpy. I just wrote, a magic fag.
You listening to YouTube?
Yeah, 3 hours and 28 minutes in.
I don't know how they do it. It's really 3:28? Oh, boy.
It's 3:28, Scott.
So we should have done 4 movies in the first half. Then we'd be even.
But, the mom, the lady who's renting it comes to the house.
She's a real bitch, by the way.
She's a huge bitch.
Like, I understand why Martin Sheen's a pedophile.
100%. Your mom made you a pedophile.
Yeah, bitch mom equals pedophile.
Yeah. She comes to the house because she needs to... Well... She's like
a control freak.
She has a power trip.
Yeah, because she's like rearranging furniture in the house they've rented for 2 years.
And she's like, no, my dad and I like it here.
Yeah.
And then she's like moving it. Like, no, it's my stuff. I'm moving it. And then she goes, I need to get jam jars out of the cellar.
Yeah.
And it leads to like a...
She's like, I'll get them for you later.
But then, so the thing is, she goes downstairs, she sees something,
Yes.
screams,
Yeah.
goes to come back upstairs, and the cellar door falls on her head.
Bonks her, and she straight up dies.
And I just wrote, the kabonk got me real good.
It was good.
I was like,
yeah.
Kabonk. But before she dies, she keeps referring to them as you people. And I was like, do you mean white British people? Like, what do you mean, you people? Because I remember I think there was a reference by Martin Sheen, like, earlier.
Yeah.
That, like...
I mean,
like, that her mom, like, really hated immigrants, and that if you weren't...
Yeah.
Like, and then the police officer says she's of the belief that if your family didn't come over, like, on the
Mayflower,
first ships, that you, like,
then
don't
you're a
belong
dirty
there.
immigrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm unclear what the you people is, although someone's learning Hebrew, so maybe that's the you people.
That is true. So she falls down the cellar basement into the basement.
Dead.
She opens the door and realizes that she's like completely dead.
Yeah.
So she closes the door. That's when she goes outside to try and move the car. That's when the magic fag comes. And then when she's talking to him about like, oh, can you please help me move the car? This is my dad's.
Yeah.
And I have to get it to, which is such a terrible
lie.
Like, I need to get this to the train station so that when he arrives, but I can't drive it. It's like, then why would your dad expect you to get it to the train station?
What was the planning that led to this between you and your dad?
Fucking stupid. But he says...
But he's a dweeb, so...
Yeah. Because she's like, oh, like, I have like a limp. I was like born with a limp or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, like, on Saturdays when all my brothers were playing football, I was performing magic for rich kids at parties.
Gay?
And then, also I'm my dad's least favorite child.
That's good. Yeah. I like the writing in the movie. Oh, you have strong opinions on it.
Writing as in, like, the script and the dialogue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very dialogue-heavy movie,
Yeah.
and like because there's not a great deal of action. It's
Not really.
mostly conversations in this house.
Yeah.
And I think it's paced pretty well.
Yeah.
I thought the movie was interesting. I was fairly into it for like a pretty simple premise and minimal locations. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, not a lot happens.
It's basically just a series of visits to the house. Is it the second time the cop comes and he's like, "Look, if I don't see your dad right now, like I know,
right? Yeah.
I know it was the cop, right?
Yeah, and it's because
I know you're a liar.
She's like, I've been here 3 times. You told me he was sleeping,
working,
or
on a trip
every time.
Yeah.
Why is he never here?
Yeah, and then her dad shows up, who is magic dweeb, who luckily has access to movie grade prosthetics.
Of course, he's a magician.
He's a magician.
He's a real magician.
Yeah.
He's a warlock.
And completely fools the cop. The cop's like, "Oh, my apologies, sir."
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I did not believe your daughter, but now I apologize, and I'm going to leave. Also, the cop is the magic kid's uncle.
Yeah, they're related.
Yeah, which doesn't really matter, but that's what it is.
Yeah. And at some point, there's a 14-year-old nude scene.
Well, Scott.
Hey, I have trivia too. It's probably the same trivia as you.
First of all, you skipped over something.
Okay.
Well, a couple things. One, so she...
Oh, sorry. I guess I skipped over all caps mother in the basement.
Yes.
Yes.
You missed... She invites the magic kid over for dinner.
Yeah.
And then Martin Sheen creepily appears.
Yeah.
And kind of like
terrorizes
them. I just wrote, ooh, when he first went to the cage, I was like, ooh, I don't like the way he's handling that hamster.
With the hamster? Oh, yeah.
I said, he's handling that hamster.
I said, I'm not going to like how this hamster thing ends.
Yep.
And I didn't.
No, and then
he basically
burned it to death.
Snapped it almost in half and threw it in the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost burned it to death completely with a cigarette. Snapped it in half,
put a cigarette out like on its face.
And then threw it in the
fire. Bad.
Yep.
Didn't like it.
Then the dweeb stands up to him and he yells at Martin Sheen, what am I, a wop, a guinea, a dago? And I was like, yes, all of those things. And then Martin Sheen
white racism.
tells him to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I think that's what we skipped over.
I think so, yeah. So
and then yes, mother.
Yeah. So where was 13-year-old nude scene? Was it just like
It was after
her and magician dweeb, but like they weren't having sex.
Not
she was just like
no.
changing her clothes or something.
No, they were like cuddling naked
I guess,
in the bed.
Yeah.
So here's my note. I went, how old is she? And then I went, Scott, are we allowed to see this? Are we going to prison? Don't worry, I'm well aware we're not going to prison.
We're not going to prison. This movie definitely caught some heat for that.
It sure did.
Quite a bit, in fact, where to the point where a lot of places would not show it.
Yep.
Because
Because there's naked 14-year-old girl, even though it's not really a naked 14-year-old girl?
Do you know who it is?
It was Jodie Foster's sister.
It is her 21-year-old sister.
Yeah.
So we're fine to jerk off. It turns out I didn't get in trouble for jerking off to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely had to like triple take.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
No.
showing from behind in the 70s is like,
they could
not
have
that bad. But
They
then
could
you,
have. I'm glad they didn't.
but then you see side boob.
Yeah, there's
and then
definite side
I was
boob.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is not okay.
I was like,
this.
no.
Can a movie?
I'm like, I didn't see that.
Can a movie go to jail? Because this movie should go to
If
jail.
a movie should go to jail, it's this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really something.
Yeah,
so
couldn't believe it.
We eventually get the explanation of everything with her and her parents. So her mom was kind of a crazy bitch and abusive, and like her dad and her just like left.
Yep.
And then she eventually found them in this small town in New England. And I don't know, they sort of tried to make nice, but it clearly wasn't going well.
Nope.
And she was getting more abusive, so her dad poisoned her tea. Mm-hmm. And she died, and they threw her in the basement.
Yep.
And that's the scary thing that the landlady bitch saw before she died, and also stayed in the basement.
They buried her.
Yeah, she and magician dweeb. Yeah, she really roped poor magician kid into a lot of bullshit.
Well, they got to lay naked with her in bed. So.
That's true. Who wouldn't do that?
Who wouldn't lay
for a
naked with a 14-year-old girl?
Jodie Foster. I'll tell you who would. Hinkley.
Yeah. But why did they only bury
Great question.
the lady and not the mom?
While you're burying, why not get it all done?
Yeah, you're already doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fair question. So, yeah, so that comes up, and then her dad just basically died of cancer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think dad is also buried.
Yeah, and it's like the same spot.
Same plot, maybe?
Same plot,
yeah. Yeah, so that's why she's alone, but her dad knew he was dying, so he like set everything up.
Yeah.
He set up all these traveler's checks for her to cash at the bank.
Topical.
So I miss traveler's checks.
I don't.
I think I took some to Europe in 2000, and that was it for my experience with traveler's checks.
I took some to California in 2004 for my grad trip to Disneyland that I fucking hated.
California.
Anybody ask me about how awful my California grad trip was, and I'll tell you about it.
How awful was it?
Not right now. We're at 3 hours and 37 minutes.
I mean, we can keep it under 4, even if you don't see.
Nope.
Yeah. So Martin Sheen is back for the last time, and knows there's no dad. He's like, it's free for all.
Gonna get what I want.
Yeah,
give me what I want.
Give me what I want. He's a good creep.
He's a good creep.
He's creeping real nice.
I read that he originally tried to audition for the magic creep, or the magic nerd.
Oh,
but they were like, "You're a little too old."
Too old.
Yeah. So they made him do.
Yeah, because
the
magic creep is like 16,
16 or 17.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Martin Sheen's like 30.
Yeah, maybe older.
Maybe older, but yeah, he shouldn't have been the magic dweeb. That wouldn't have worked at all. Who would Martin Sheen have been then? Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah.
So he's being a super creep, and like he clearly is. It's not just about the rape with him. He's not a Cosby in that sense. He is about the like terrorizing.
He was 37 at the time.
Okay, how could he have been?
I don't know.
What are you doing, Martin?
I don't know. He just thought that he could.
I mean, it's clear he thought he could do a lot of things in Hollywood. And most of which he did. And good for him.
And got no repercussions at all.
He's fine. You know what?
He's
still beloved.
He got to be the president.
He was goddamn President Josiah Bartlett.
He let everybody fuck his son, and he still got to be the president.
And the best president we ever had.
Other than the real president.
Jimmy Smits?
Yeah.
Was he president, or was Alan Alda president?
I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
One of them. Maybe both.
What would Jimmy Smits been president in?
West Wing.
I've never seen it. I don't even know what it is. What is it?
Wait, you thought Martin Sheen was the real president?
The real president. I thought it was the president.
What's the West Wing? I thought he was president.
He was the president of the real life West Wing.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, and in addition to killing the mom with poison tea, tea has come up a couple of, like, she and Magic Dweeb had regular non-poison tea.
Yep.
So she made tea.
The poison tea.
She made poison tea for Martin Sheen, and the movie tricked me a little bit, or it made me question myself.
Well, Princess Bride you.
I guess it did Princess Bride me, but this is years and years before Princess Bride.
So Princess Bride stole it from this? Is that what you're saying? Rob Reiner's a thief?
I'm saying Rob Reiner's a thief, and he made Flipped 2010, so he can go fuck himself.
I agree.
So yeah, so she puts poison in one of the cups.
Yeah.
And then she hands him a cup that I'm like, wait, I thought she put poison in the other cup. Am I wrong? Mm-hmm. So I was doubting myself.
Yeah.
And
then you
then
should never do.
Yeah. And you know what? I should always trust yourself.
Always trust yourself.
And Martin goes. And Martin is wise to her feminine wiles. Like, this bitch is probably trying to poison me.
Yep.
And he's like, let's go ahead and switch these cups, and then we'll both drink. And then they switch them. When they switch them, I'm like, oh, I get what's happening now.
Yeah.
And she drinks from it because it's now been switched to her cup has been switched to the non-poison cup. So I was right about which cup she put poison in the first place, and was anticipating all of this.
Yeah.
And by the way, spoilers for the little girl who lives down the lane, 1976. And then he's like, oh, she did drink it. I guess we're okay. And then he drank it and fucking dies. Yeah. And down to the cellar with you. And that
just gonna have some smelly bodies down there.
Yeah.
You bury some people and you don't bury other people. That's how it works.
Your mom must stink down there.
I bet you. There's a real stink down here.
She's got a stink down there. Yeah, it basically ends with that. And she's okay.
She's okay. Living on her own.
Parents are dead, but she's doing her best.
Doing some naked cuddling with her retard boyfriend.
Good for her. I hope she doesn't become a prostitute in New York later this year.
Yeah.
Is Taxi Driver 76 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good year, Jody.
Good year, Jody. Almost got to see you naked, and I was screaming that I was going to prison.
Should I see this?
Yeah. I really, even though she's significantly older than me.
Yeah, but not then.
Not then.
She's about the same age then as I am now.
Yeah, baby.
How are we for time? We good?
3 hours, 42 minutes.
Oh, dear. Do you want to
No.
You want to go two more? So we're 2:44 and 3:44 for a total of almost 6.5 hours.
Okay, fine. We'll hurry up and let's say goodbye.
Okay, let's say goodbye.
I'm Drew Sarian Softballs on Things, or Drew Sarian on Letterboxd.
I don't even know who I am anymore, but please get me to 10,000 followers at Not Scott Henson by Monday. I hope you're having a nice Sunday if you're listening to this live-ish and are not a member who got this in a giant podcast dump on Friday. And I can't believe we have to do at least 5 more of these. If I make it through, the plans I have for when I have free time again, you wouldn't believe. I'm getting free the surgery, and I'm getting a milk bar in your house.
Yep.
and that's it.
Late comers, you got a little bit of time left.
$50.
$50.
PayPal.me/Not Scott Henson.
Less than 90 minutes, or I'm gonna kill you and your whole family.
Drew has instituted an unofficial under 90 minutes
and
policy.
And that podcast kid from the Ghostbusters movie, and
we gotta stop threatening an actual person.
No, we're gonna do it. Don't care. He's a kid. No, nobody cares about kids. Kids can die.
Who's gonna miss him?
I'm not gonna miss him.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna miss him.
They're carbon. I'm carbon.
Well, that's a different situation. All right, and now goodbye.